God bless the United States.
Somebody said, is that a Trump statement or is that real?
The kidney has a very special place in the heart. It's an incredible thing. It's a new form of vicious violation to our country.
What's up, guys? Welcome in. Please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are not already. I'll be with you in just a second.
They're just getting acclimated. You know what that means? Acclimated. No, they're just getting acclimated. You know what that means? Acclimated. No, they're just getting acclimated. You know what that means? Acclimated. China has total respect for Donald Trump and for Donald Trump's very, very large brain.
All right, what do you say we just hop right into it? How's everybody doing? Welcome back. I'm Boston Bryant. This is Blunt Politics. It is the 28th of December, 2025, the last few days of 2025, and I really do appreciate you for spending that time here with me, or what little time you do spend here with me. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel on the way in. We're kind of in that little like weird period with shows and like accounts and different creators and stuff, because a lot of people kind of take the time off just before Christmas, and they kind of take off and do like repeat shows or like the best of the hits from 2025 until after the new year. So we're kind of in that like slow period, but don't worry about it. We got you covered here at Blunt Politics. We don't take time off unless it is very necessary or one of the obviously major holidays. So I appreciate you guys once again. Hope everybody had a great holidays. If you celebrate Christmas, happy Hanukkah to everybody that celebrates that as well. Happy Kwanzaa to everybody that celebrates that as well. So thank you very much. And, I hope everybody has some great plans going for the new year. I know it's kind of an amateur night, but, even if you don't have some plans going on for the New Year's, I hope you guys do have a wonderful 2026. But yes, lots to get into. Big Z has made the trip down to Moscow, Mar-A-Lago. I do have a few live streams up. Let me just throw this on the screen as I chat away with you guys. That way we can kind of keep an eye on it at the same time. Let me throw this up. So I got a couple live streams up, just kind of waiting for the the queue, basically, when we can dive in and look at that. But we got a few other things to cover as well. That gentleman that I mentioned on the last show that kind of, was kind of presenting himself as the limo driver from the Epstein files. And again, I made it very clear, I am not a journalist. I'm not an investigative reporter. I cannot confirm or deny the claims, but I do think it'd be very important and very prudent upon, law enforcement or, politicians or people with bigger platforms to reach out to this gentleman to either confirm or deny the claims being made, because they are very specific. There's a whole hell of a lot of them, and they're very fucking salacious, right? But he's put up a new live. Apparently, this gentleman actually went live. When did he go live, does this say? Went live 18 hours ago, it says, right? And it's only got 481 views. So, I want to dive into maybe what he says on this. And again, this is just to kind of get all of the information out there, and then we can kind of filter through the bullshit. I know some people have mentioned that this gentleman has kind of said some outlandish things. And again, that doesn't really necessarily prove anything that did or didn't happen, say 25 to 30 years ago. His mental state now. And again, like I said, I'm not law enforcement. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a journalist. I just figure this sounds like something that people should be diving into and at least trying to confirm or deny the allegations being made, considering they have to do with the president of the United States currently sitting in the White House, right? And underage girls and a murder, right? I mean, so it just seems pretty self-evident to me that that's something you'd really want to fucking, go to the ends of the earth to investigate. And again, pinpoint what was false, pinpoint what was accurate, and then we go from there. So again, we will dive into a little bit of that. I want to take a look at a few different clips. Like I said, it's kind of a slow time now for a lot of accounts. So, but this is a good clip here because this is Brian Shapiro. I don't know if you're familiar with Brian Shapiro. I'm sure a few of you, if not the majority of you, are. He's got a channel called Pushing the Limits, and he's a really good on-the-spot debater. often takes phone calls from, MAGA, and that's kind of what his show is. He addresses it that way. He's had a bunch of kind of viral moments in stomping down some of the MAGA talking points, but he had a good moment here. And again, I'm not sure if this was very recent. I would assume it to be, considering some of the things that they were talking about, but he was on with Tim Pool's crew. And again, as it usually is, it's about 3 or 4 on one, 4 Republicans to 1 liberal, progressive, whatever you want to call it, lefty, basically. And he handles himself pretty well. I also want to dive into somebody that I think we should be. Oh, sorry, I didn't even have that on the screen. So my apologies. So we'll be taking a look at this one. And then somebody else I want to dive into. And like I said, kind of slow as far as people coming out with new content and stuff. But I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Gunny. Gunny Speaks Out is the channel here, and he is a badass veteran that goes around on a motorcycle with a big "fuck Trump" flag on the back. He knows his facts in and out. He's not afraid to debate people. He's calling people out left and right. I love his content. He's big on Instagram. Looks like he's got about 15,000 subscribers here on YouTube, which should be far more. But, if you could indulge me and we can get into a couple clips of Gunny and, just kind of how blunt he is. He fits right in with Blunt Politics. You'd be a great guest on this program. It would be an honor to get to speak to him. But yeah, I just want to dive into a little bit of that. And then a lot, like I said, is going to have to do with Ukraine. So this is obviously some footage of Big Z arriving today in Miami. And then, like I said, we're keeping one eye on this kind of live meeting. Fox News hasn't dived into it yet. RSBN hasn't dived into it yet. So again, we'll keep one eye on that. We're talking about the Russian attacks from last night just before this meeting between Zelenskyy and Donald Trump, which again, Russia loves to do. This is right in line with what they're doing. Not only that, but I mean, if you'll take a look at on your screen, what you can see there is residential complexes, residential housing, and not justifiable military targets like the Russian propaganda would have you believe that Russia is targeting on a nightly basis. So not only can we kind of prove the tactics and how unwilling the Russians are to actually see peace, right? But their tactics in trying to, again, boost their favorability, boost their standing on the negotiating table, their stance at the negotiating table with these strikes ahead of Donald Trump's meeting with Zelenskyy. So not only can we talk about that, but also pointing out the bullshit of the Russian propaganda on how they're going after justifiable military targets, right? Which is just complete nonsense. And then we have obviously some updates from the front lines. This is the professor talking about the brutal reality of fighting Ukraine, and Russians learning very quickly that the Ukrainians are not giving up, nor will they ever. And this is from United 24, which is a great depiction, gives us some really good insights into the Russian, the Ukrainian underwater drone attack on the Russian port at Novorossiysk. Right. So this kind of gives a detailed kind of mapping and outline of not only how they did it, how it went, how it kind of came to fruition, what was used, the intelligence. And again, we'll go through that. I thought that was pretty cool because we did cover, obviously, this event on the show. You'll probably recall the footage when you see it. But this is just recently put out, I think, a couple hours ago by United 24. And it says silent SOF strike in the rear. And like I said, it just kind of gives us a better outline, a better description, some more details on this strike. So again, I appreciate you guys watching. I really, really do. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate your time, because I know that is the most important thing in your life. But yes, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you can. Let me just make sure one more time that I'm not missing anything as far as this meeting is concerned. Nope, looks like Fox News is just kind of picked up their camera. RSBN having the same shot. So if like some mods or just anybody in general, right, if we're kind of looking at something else, if you see Zelenskyy and Trump come out, just kind of give me a nod and a wink. And thank you to, right off the bat, I have to say, who is it? Allison. Let me just see here. My apologies if I got the name wrong. Somebody already sent a Venmo, and yes, it was Allison. So thank you, Allison, very much for your $5 Venmo to start things off. I very much appreciate that. Same thing with Michael McAndrews. Thank you so much for the 4. And Colleen, thank you so much for the $20 super sticker already. You guys are absolutely incredible. I can't thank you enough. I hope you guys had the best and most joyful holidays you possibly can. And I hope they're not done yet. I hope you're still ready and up to spending some good time, some good quality time with friends, family, loved ones for the new year as well. So as amateur as that amateur night is, it's still a good time to get together with some friends and family. It doesn't mean you have to go out into the city and spend beaucoup dollars. You can do something nice and quiet and still have a good time. But thank you so much, Michael. Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, Allison. And thank you, Wayno, for signing up, brother. Thank you for being here for 17 months, man. Let's fucking go. Can't thank you enough, man. All right, let's dive into just a few of these little things as we keep one eye on the meeting between Trump and Zelenskyy down at Moscow, Mar-A-Lago. What do you say we dive into this real quick? Because I am very curious. I didn't get into any of this. I just honestly, it was a few people that actually told me the channel was actually taken down. So it may have been taken down at one point because I heard that from multiple people. Jim actually mentioned that in the chat, which I was like, oh crap, I'll have to check that out. And I looked up and it was up. So again, it may have been taken down at some point. But I did, when I was checking that, see that Dan Ferry, this same guy that claims to be Trump's limo driver, right? And again, not confirming, not denying here, just asking questions, right? Just pulling my best fucking Tucker Carlson, if you will. Just asking the questions that deserve to be asked right now. Let's get all the information out there, everything we could possibly see. That's why I put the Katie Johnson video out there. If you haven't checked that out, go check out my YouTube shorts. I put out a couple clips from the YouTube video that you can go in. I linked the video down below on that short as well of the testimony. The firsthand accounting from Katie Johnson of what happened between her and Donald Trump, what happened between her and others at Epstein's parties. And I know that's not a new video. It had 1 million views on YouTube. But again, 1 million people, 1 million views is a lot less than the population of this country, is a lot less than the population of the world. So I just wanted to get all of this information out there, make sure that everybody has access to whatever information they want to consume, and then everybody can come to, their own assessment, right? We can all come to our own conclusions on what is real, what is not real, what we need to investigate even further. And I think this is right along those lines because, again, regardless of, whatever crazy shit this guy has said recently, does not change, again, the information that he has that is very specific, very detailed, nor does it change what possibly could have happened 25 to 30 years ago. Understood, right? So something could have possibly happened mentally in the last 5 years, right? He was fine up until 5 years ago, and now he's kind of, he's lost it a little bit. But that doesn't mean that what he went through, what he experienced, and what he saw 25, 30 years ago isn't true. And there should be a way to confirm or deny the allegations being made here. But again, this is him going live. So obviously he's still, on this train of trying to prove himself as being that person. And he comes out with, I would assume, some more details to kind of either that we can confirm or prove as false. So again, let's dive into a little bit of this. It's 24 minutes long, so we're not going to obviously do the whole thing. But just to kind of, get some insights, just to kind of get a feel for what he's saying now and whether or not, again, we still feel like this is something that should be delved into a little bit further, right? Something that should definitely be properly investigated by a trustworthy agency. Not sure which one of those agencies that would be, considering what's going on inside our federal government right now, but you know what I mean. But let's dive into this. I appreciate it. Hit that like button again. This is Dan Ferry, the gentleman that claims that he was Donald Trump's limo driver back in, I believe it was 94, 95. Claims to have direct knowledge about at least 3 to 5 different houses that Donald Trump paid for as hush money payments. Has allegedly direct knowledge that Donald Trump threatened him with a gold-plated pistol. He seems to be very specific on what kind of pistol that was, the highway that he was on, what he did with the vehicle that he was driving in that instance. Again, if he's loopy, if he's crazy, then we should be able to figure that out. But it just seems really fucking weird to me that he has such specific information, such specific and detailed information. And again, right hand up, that is also sometimes like an over-specified and over-detailed report is also something that could put up a red flag too, right? Like, if you try to, somebody that's lying oftentimes will try to give too much detail, right? They'll try to be over-specific to, really emphasize the fact that they knew what they were talking about, or they understood, or they saw what they were, when they said they were in a certain area or a certain town or whatever it may be. So sometimes that can be a red flag too. But again, that should be easily confirmed or denied. The more information they give, the more easily confirmed that should be, or easily, discredited that you should be able to do, right, on that information. That's just the way my brain works, at least. But all right, let's dive into a little bit of this.
Okay, listen up, people. In 1995, Donald John Trump went to Dallas, Texas. Love Field would not let him land at Love Field. They would not give him clearance to land because he had not paid his tarmac fees there.
All right, so right off the bat, we're 27 seconds in, right? So again, the fact that he was not able to land at the specific airfield, we should be able to confirm or deny that, right? I mean, I don't know how far back the records go at these places. You're right, but you would think that, there should be some way to pull up, flight records, which planes, at least attempted to go in and out of that airport, maybe surrounding airports where he did have to land. It makes sense. When you look at the type of jet that he has, right? It makes sense when you hear that Donald Trump didn't pay his tarmac fees, knowing what we know about Donald Trump not liking to pay his bills, not liking to pay his contractors. So far, right? It's not like anything he said is so outlandish that it doesn't line up. Seems to line up pretty accurately with what, probably could have happened or would have happened if all of this is true. Right, Donald Trump requests access at a certain airfield, won't give him access either because of the size of the aircraft, or again, like he says, because he just he was underwater as far as bills is concerned on that fucking airstrip. But again, tracks as far as what we know about Donald Trump so far.
So he landed at DFW Airport. His pilots did, his private big jetliner. Doesn't have a normal private jet like most ultra wealthy. He's got to have a great big jetliner, passenger jet, converted to his God knows what in the sky. Anyway, he went to a building that is known worldwide, because I'm not going to get into that actually, because most of the people in that organization are actually good people. It's just very high ups in that organization that are corrupt beyond most people's comprehension. Anyway, he went to that building. I had been driving for a limousine service named Blue Chip Limousine. But around Christmas time of 1994, I was recruited by a man who had a private service.
These details are very specific. He's given the specific name of the company, the specific dates, the specific locations. Right? There's other company that he was recruited by. I mean, all of this should be employment records that should be okay. Yes, he did work here. We can confirm that part of the story. Okay, nope, that didn't happen. Okay, we can't confirm that part. That type of shit. Like, that's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm thinking that should take place. Again, I'm not saying this is definitive evidence suggesting anything, but it's something that I believe, with everything that's going on right now and with everything that we know that has taken place regarding the Epstein files, that this is like everything should be investigated to the ends of the fucking earth until you are fully 100,000% sure that there is no more roads to follow. There are no more avenues to explore, right? No more witnesses to talk to, no more fucking stones to overturn. That's just my thought.
Catered to the wealthiest of the wealthy on the planet. Donald John Trump raped my son's oldest half-sister when she was 14 years old. She and her two little sisters and their mother went to Niagara, New York to visit the middle girl's father. It was around Christmas time of 94. They decided to go sightseeing downtown New York City and Manhattan. They were standing in front of Trump Tower. This is what Dusty herself told me on Christmas Eve of 1999. That they were standing in front of Trump Tower, and a lady pulled up in a chauffeur-driven car and got out and walked straight up to them and invited them up into Trump Tower. Dusty was a extremely beautiful young lady. I'm getting to that, Tim X. Anyway,
Remember, he's live, so he's apparently probably responding to whatever chat he sees, just in case it sounds a little strange.
Mother, Cheryl, didn't want the youngest girl to go up into the tower with them. So Dusty and her next youngest sister went up into Trump Tower. The lady was Ghislaine Maxwell. She separated Dusty from her younger sister, took her upstairs to a room where Jeffrey Epstein was laying on a massage table. First, Jeffrey Epstein assaulted Dusty, and as soon as he finished, Donald Trump walked in and bent her over the table and raped her, sodomized her.
And again, very detailed, specific locations, times, dates, people involved, actions, the events, the fucking what actions took place when, right? The timeline of events. It just seems to me like something that should be confirmed or, again, fucking denied, and that should be taken to the fullest extent of law enforcement's reach to be able to, again, do that. And again, let me just throw this up on the screen just to kind of play something, to show you something similar, even if, this guy is proven to be a liar, if he's proven to be a kook and a conspiracy theorist, whatever the fuck it may be, right? Whatever he's saying in here definitely lines up with this. Let me see if I can pull this up. Yeah, let me pull this up. And again, this is what I posted on YouTube, just in case you haven't seen this, right? This is what I posted just to make sure all the information was out there. And this is just a couple clips from the Katie Johnson interview that she does. And listen to how the information that she talks about, firsthand accounting with Donald Trump lines up to what, pretty much what Dan Ferry said took place in this accounting with the people that he's familiar with. But listen to this, in case anybody isn't familiar with this. And again, this is short. It's not the whole thing. There's a link posted on this exact short where you can go to the full video of the full interview and hear it from start to finish if you're inclined. But again, this is just a couple of those clips to kind of summarize some of the things that she was saying in this interview. Check it out.
I'm about to play for you now. I know this isn't a new video, but with everything that's been going on recently, I just want everybody that wants the opportunity to hear all the information, has the opportunity to hear all the information with their own ears from the firsthand accounts of the people that went through it. This is going to be a couple clips, a couple moments from the interview, the testimony from Katie Johnson when she was explaining her firsthand accounts with Donald Trump, with Jeffrey Epstein at the parties. Now, I've reversed it, kind of sped it up a little bit just in case, just to be safe, in case anybody tries to remove this. Now, I know this has a lot of views already on YouTube, and I will go ahead and link the video below. But yeah, I want to make sure that you guys get to see this again. Trigger warning on this one.
I met Donald Trump at some parties I attend that I was working for Mr. Jeffrey Epstein. There was about 3 or 4 times that I had encounters with Donald Trump. I was 13. The first time that I met Donald Trump was at
Well, to answer your question, what was it? Who was it, Steph? Steph says, why is this man coming forward now, not years ago? Well, in his defense, that video, the first video that we played was from over a year ago on YouTube. Not only that, but the accounting, the reports that we read in the Epstein files that actually details this is more than likely him calling it in. Right? Remember how we said we could input Dan's name into the Epstein files and we could see how short the redactions are. And thus we could kind of, assume that the name behind it is a short name. Thus Dan fits in there. Right? Remember how we were saying that? So this accounting, one would assume, or I would assume that it would be him that it was making those. So what he has been seemingly trying to get this information out there. That was on, I believe, an FBI tip hotline or something alike. Right? So, and again, that video from over a year ago, well before, this stuff really kicked off the way it's kicked off recently. This is just more recently of him trying to continue to get that message out there. And again, I don't know. Maybe he's a kook. Maybe it's a conspiracy theory. Maybe none of this is true, or maybe all of it's true. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a cop. I'm not a journalist, investigative reporter. What I do is I look and say, that information sounds very fucking specific. That lines up with what we know with Donald Trump. That lines up with what we know about the monsters perpetrating these crimes inside the Epstein files, right? Threatening, people that have information is definitely right in line with what these high profile people would do and did do to try to keep their secrets, secret. right? So again, I'm just saying, sounds like something we probably should investigate, considering we're hearing here from Katie Johnson, as you'll hear now, very similar accountings of what used to happen, about the sodomization, about the, the lack of care, about the rude treatment, how out in the open this was, the gloves used, the toys, the orgies, all of it, right? I mean, it's I don't know. And again, just to kind of address that comment right on itself, it seems like, and if it comes out for sure that it was this gentleman making these, reports and allegations way back when, then, that would kind of, again, lead us to believe that this is, he has information that we should probably look into, or again, deny, or, can make sure we can make sure that, okay, we say that's false for sure. And we look into other avenues. So we're not fucking chasing our tails this whole time, right? Like chickens with our fucking head cut off. But I'm just bringing it up. That's my job here. You guys can make your own assessments. I'm hoping to bring this to light, make sure that people see this. And then again, we can kind of take the accurate information and take the false information and do what we want with that, that type of fucking, that type of research and information. All right, let me just play. Let me put this back on. My apologies. Let me put this back on. And then we'll, because yeah, here.
Party at Jeffrey Epstein's mansion. There was an orgy going on, and he was kind of watching off in the distance. And he basically asked if I could come over and give him a hand job. And at first I wasn't very comfortable with it. This was like my first party. And I didn't think that was my responsibility. But my recruiter told me that I needed to do it. So I agreed to. And then he, I began to, sorry, this is a little difficult, but before I gave him a hand job, he kind of slapped my hand away and said, you need to use a glove. And the recruiter ran over and handed me a glove and said, no one touches Mr. Trump's penis without a glove. So I needed to use a glove. I gave him a hand job. And then immediately after, he had an orgasm, he left, and I didn't see him again at that party. Jeffrey Epstein is a billionaire friend of Donald Trump's that was responsible for throwing the sex parties. Jeffrey Epstein knew that I was 13 years old. When he interviewed me, he asked me to get down to my bra, just my panties. And I thought that was weird, but I mean, modeling, maybe it was something about my figure. And he asked that I give him a massage. So then he asked me my age. He asked me, and I told him, that I was 13. I told him why I was there. And he basically said,
all right, I'm going to pop back into that. I just want to see, because it looks like something's happening over here on the Zelenskyy front. Let me see if I can pop in here. We'll pop back over to that just while this is live here.
President, do you think Putin is serious about peace this time?
I do. I think he is. I think they both are.
What was your message? How close are we to a message?
Gotta make a deal. Gotta get it done. Too many people dying. And I think both presidents want to make a deal.
It's the second time. That's the second time in the 2 seconds they've been on that he already stated that he believes Russia wants peace and Russia wants to make a deal.
And I do believe that we have the makings of a deal. It's good for Ukraine, good for everybody. It's very important. There's nothing more important, my book. Settled 8 wars, and this is the most difficult one.
Let me see if the sound's maybe a little better on RSBN.
There's nothing more important, my book. We settled 8 wars, and this is the most difficult one. I thought it would be in the middle of the pack. This is the most difficult one.
In case you can't hear him, he's talking about 8 wars, yada yada yada.
We're going to get it done. We're going to have a great meeting today. This gentleman has worked very hard, and he's very brave, and his people are very brave. I mean, what they've gone through, no nation, very rarely has a nation ever had it go through this. So we're going to have a very good meeting today, I think, and I'm also calling President Putin back after the meeting, and we'll continue a negotiation. Pretty complex, but not that complex.
Do you need to do your day deadline?
I don't have deadlines. I have you know what my deadline is? Getting the war ended.
He sounds like, but he's giving Putin 20 deadlines. He doesn't have deadlines, but he's giving Putin 20 deadlines. Fucking idiot.
That's what the security agreement says. What a dumb question. Nobody even knows what the security agreement is going to say. But there will be a security agreement. It'll be a strong agreement. And the European nations are very much
Did he just say nobody knows what a security agreement is?
protection, etc. But the European nations have been really great. They're very much in line with this meeting.
I'm glad they set up a fucking microphone so we could hear what this asshole's saying, you fucking incompetent pricks.
There's nobody there. They all want to get it done, and they've been very supportive.
They don't all want to get it done, considering the fucking Russian drone attacks on civilian infrastructure just last night, you cocksucker.
I think.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you for this meeting. Thank you for your invitation. Yes, really, I agree with President.
Yeah, this is great. Good job, White House. This is great.
Our teams, they do what they can. And I think that
Hope you're fucking good at reading lips, because I don't know what the fuck's going on.
last month they moved forward with negotiations and Americans. Thank you very much for your team.
One of the most fucking important meetings since the fucking, I don't know what, the Yalta meeting? I don't know what, it's the biggest war in Europe since World War II. This is the meeting. We can't hear what the fuck's going on, you assholes.
And they work very well, I think. And they work on different documents. I hope that all these
They get enough gold. They couldn't put a fucking microphone somewhere in here? No gold microphones being made today, I guess, off Temu.
bring peace as quick as possible. So, and I agree with the President that for the Europeans, yes, and the President is in contact with them and maybe will contact with them.
We could go on to that.
Yeah, we should go today.
What made you want to come in person and speak president today?
Sorry?
What made you want to come here at Mar-A-Lago to speak president today?
What? Yeah. What?
Why?
So, yeah, we spoke about our...
Again, I mean, it's just kind of fucking...
Work on 20 points to them. Then they worked on prosperity and security.
I mean, I guess the one good takeaway I will say is the fact that Trump didn't call Putin before the meeting, right? As he referenced, he'll call Putin after the meeting, which allows Zelenskyy to be the last thing in Donald Trump's ear, right? We all know how the last thing said to Donald Trump is very important. The last person to get to, to Donald Trump's fucking, to get to his brain, what's left of his brain is kind of the person that chances are comes out on top the majority of the time. So it's good to see he didn't, throttle this meeting by talking to Putin beforehand and then going into the meeting with Zelenskyy, having just talked to Putin. Right. And again, who knows? He probably fucking did, and he's just lying about it at this point. But good to see, at least at this point, that Zelenskyy will have the opportunity to get his, shit off his chest before the conversation with Vladimir Putin and his buddy Donald Trump takes place. But again, sorry about the sound. There's nothing I can do. I've checked a bunch of different channels here. It's just the fact that this White House is probably purposefully incompetent and doesn't want people to hear how badly Donald Trump's health is failing him.
Ukraine has made some very strong attacks also. And I don't say that negatively. I think you probably have to.
All right, hold on. I'm going to go back because it sounds like he was just questioned on the attacks last night.
It's very serious. I think, I can say that I believe Ukraine has made some very strong attacks also. And I don't...
On justifiable military targets, you absolute asshole. Again, I can almost guarantee, what are your thoughts on the fact that Russia unleashed such a massive drone attack on Kyiv last night and other areas in Ukraine? Without taking up too much time and going too far back. But again, to bring up the fact that, again, Ukraine is undertaking an ongoing war to try to eliminate justifiable military targets that are unleashing attacks on their own fucking land, right, is not in the same thing, not even should be put in the same breath as talking about Vladimir Putin's unleashing of drones on fucking Ukrainian civilians on a fucking nightly basis. Okay? One, act of war crime. Other, act of war, right? You engage in a war, you undertake a full-scale military invasion, you thus put your fucking military at risk. You are then justifiable military targets from then on out. Doesn't matter where the fuck you are, how many people are there, how much fucking gas or fuel or funding you have at that spot. If you are able to fucking perpetrate a war, if you're able to send up a jet, if you're able to fucking, house and hold infantry, whatever it may be, you are a justifiable military target, and you should know that and sleep with one fucking eye open. Civilians, not under that umbrella by any stretch, right? You cannot, it's a war crime to generalize the punishment on the citizenry for the acts of a government. That's just clear and pretty fucking blatantly against international law, the Geneva Conventions, right? The rules of war. That's just how that works. That's just how that works. So I apologize about the sound, but this fucking asshole, again, 3 times he's already said that Russia wants peace in his belief. He believes that Russia wants peace, right? And then answers this question in a way that is more favorable to Russia, that excuses the ongoing war crimes and civilian attacks, right, by Russia, and puts them and Ukraine in the same boat, which is fucking asinine. Sorry.
I don't say that negatively. I think you probably have to. I don't say that negatively, but I think that he doesn't.
And you can see Zelensky's face, even when he, and I'm not going to go back, but even when the first time Trump mentioned that he believes Russia wants peace, I'm sure there's going to be a clip of it somewhere. You can see Zelensky's face look over like, you son of a bitch. Like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. At this point, after everything that we've talked about and gone through, all the videos that we've shown you, the evidence of the stolen children, right? The raping, the pillaging, the plundering, the war crimes. And at this point in time, you're still going to come out and be like, yeah, I believe Russia wants peace. Like, and again, if we have time, depending on what the time is and how long this goes and what happens, I'll see if I can find that moment. But at the very beginning of this, you can definitely tell Zelensky is very fucking frustrated.
There have been some explosions in various parts of Russia, and it looks to me like, I don't know, I don't think it came from the Congo. I don't think it came from the United States of America. It possibly came from Ukraine, but I haven't asked that question. Maybe I won't.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, people, boys, girls, children of all ages, types, sizes, sexes, genders, I don't know. Like, does he honestly not know how to distinguish between, again, and I hate to, overuse this word, but justifiable military targets and the ongoing slaughter, the ongoing war crimes, and the ongoing targeting of civilians and civilian infrastructure? I mean, are we really supposed to believe that he doesn't know the difference? Because I'm not fucking buying it, okay? I'm not fucking buying it. There's no possible way that you can see apartment complexes as far as the eye can see, right? And you can see fires and fucking Russian drones coming in at 2, 3, 4 at a time, even though the Ukrainian air defenses are working overtime and do a damn good job. Inevitably, just with the size of the attacks, some squeeze through, right? So to witness that and to witness the plight of the Ukrainian people and people being put out of their homes with no heat, no hot water, no electricity for fucking days on end. And then to see what the Ukrainians are targeting, which are ships at a fucking military port, right? Airfields, air bases, places where fucking troops are stationed, vehicles, gas tanks, oil refineries, shit that helps the war keep going for Russia. How you can sit there and be like, yes, these are two of the same thing. They're both on the same fucking plane. You can compare them. They're 100% comparable is asinine. Just goes to show the inept, fucking corrupt stupidity of this asshole and how he doesn't understand war. He doesn't understand military. He doesn't understand the danger of giving Vladimir Putin the upper hand, allowing him to continue this, allowing him to rebuild, allowing him to re-enter the G8, allowing him to re-enter with economic partnership with the United States. All he sees is dollar signs, right? All he sees is money in his pocket, Donald Trump Jr.'s pocket, Eric's pocket. Right? Fucking, who's the other schmuck that's involved in this fucking shit? I can't think of his name. Kushner. Fucking Kushner's pocket. They're doing fucking swimmingly, folks. They've never put more money in their pockets in their fucking life. And it's coming right off the backs of you. It's fucking literally stealing the shirt off of your back, and it's going right in the fucking pockets of these assholes. And we're going to try to sit here and actually talk like, the targets that Russia's targeting and the targets that Ukraine is targeting because they were attacked are somehow comparable. And like, it's a stupid question to ask. Wake me up at some point. I'm going to wake up and this is all going to been a big fucking dream. For the last 10 years, it's going to be a dream. Somehow I'll wake up and we'll have rewritten the Constitution to have only fucking a Democrat in office for the rest of the days. Please somehow make that fucking come to fruition.
They're fighting a war. And we'll see what happens. But I believe it's a war that we have two willing parties. We have two willing countries. They want to see it end. Look, the people of
Oh, my God. 2 countries involved. 2 fucking countries involved. One started it. One didn't. One is the aggressor. One is the victim. How can you have two people that want to end it? How does that fucking make sense? What are you talking about? Look at Zelensky's face, too. I mean, if that doesn't fucking say it all, like, Jesus Christ, he's a fucking madman. He's a lunatic. Like, there's just no talking to this man. He just refuses to understand. That's everything that I'm getting from Zelensky's face right now.
Ukraine wanted to end, and the people of Russia wanted to end. And
They don't want it to end. They don't fucking want it to end, you brain-dead fucking moron. You absolute cocksucker. Demented piece of shit. I don't know what else. I don't know. All of it, you fucking orange, pathetic moron. Jesus Christ. I 4 years on in this fucking shit. 4 years fucking on in this shit. And this is what we're fucking getting at this point? Unreal.
Some economic benefits for Ukraine. Europe is holding some billions in frozen Russian assets. Do you believe that should go to Ukraine to help rebuild or go back to Russia?
None of that's been determined, but it'll go. It's going to go very quickly. I think we're at final stage.
She didn't ask if it was determined yet. She asked what you thought should happen. So the question was, in case you didn't hear it, what should happen with the frozen Russian assets, basically? Should the frozen Russian assets that were frozen a long time ago with the fucking yachts and this and the that and the bank accounts and the homes all over the fucking place, should those be used and liquidated, and should that money go to Ukraine is the question. Simple answer, yes, absolutely. They're the victim. We punish the aggressor. We punish the criminal in the rule of law, in a world with the rule of law. That's what happens. That's their punishment. Sorry. You don't get to fucking start a war, kill, and be responsible for the deaths of millions of people, right? The displacement of fucking millions of people, and then fucking get to bitch and complain when we take some shit from you, okay? Sorry, doesn't get to fucking happen. So yes, rightly so, that should go absolutely every single dollar, every single fucking ruble, every single cent, right? Every pound, I don't know, every euro should go right to fucking Ukraine to allow them to either rebuild or continue this fight against the fucking Russians. But what's he saying? No. It hasn't been determined yet, and he goes on with this, ridiculous bullshit to try to evade the question.
Talking, and we're going to see. Otherwise, it's going to go on for a long time. It'll either end, or it's going to go on for a long time. And
good. Okay, fucking Nostradamus. Good fucking prediction on that. It's either going to end soon or it's going to keep going. Awesome. Great fucking prediction. Did you break out the almanac for that one? You fucking dirty, disgusting, decrepit piece of shit.
Millions of additional people are going to be killed. Millions.
So would you say,
and nobody wants that.
Are you so frustrated with this
Expecting to
message?
get to an agreement today.
What? Would you say you're
When
so
you
frustrated?
say that you think it will either end or go on for a long time, and you say you don't have a deadline. So what are you expecting out of today?
I just think we can move very rapidly. I really feel
Basically, question was, you say you have no deadline, but then you say you don't want it to go on indefinitely. So again, how can you put those on the same fucking, in the same breath, in the same sentence? Shouldn't you be more willing to give, a draw a line in the sand, give a deadline, again, to the people that perpetrated the war, the people that are the aggressing side, the aggressors, right? Wouldn't that be the fucking, I don't know, the logical way to approach this? And it's ridiculous that every single one of you in the chat right now knows and could handle this situation 1,000 fucking million, trillion, bigzillion, quadrillion times better than Donald Trump could ever handle this. Whether or not you've ever had political experience, whether or not you've fucking served in the military or not, whether or not you've ever dealt with any situation even remotely similar to this, you would know what to do and have better knowledge. Better knowledge on how to approach this situation than this fucking brain dead moron does 4 years into this fucking full scale invasion. Every single one of you guys, I have 100% complete faith in. And that goes for even the trolls in here, if we have any. Every single one of you is more fucking intelligent and knows exactly what should be done in this regard. Even if you lie to yourselves, even if you're a troll, even if you're a maggot in here and you're fucking lying to yourself. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Peter. Holy shit. Thank you so much, Peter. Trump should go visit Ukraine. I mean, absolutely. You're 100% right. I mean, you're 100% right, but that doesn't happen because then he would have to look in the faces of the Ukrainian people like I did, right? He would then have to look face to face with the Ukrainian special forces, the Ukrainian fucking infantry like I did, the Ukrainian fucking, military defense contractors, that need so much, that are so appreciative of everything that the United States and our surrounding allies and other people in other countries have done for them, that I saw firsthand in Ukraine when I delivered vehicles, aid trucks, fire trucks, ambulances, medical equipment, everything from fucking, again, a fire truck down to bug spray and everything in between. That I drove from fucking, Warsaw to fucking Kyiv to make sure that that they knew that there are people willing to not only send in dollars, not only, support St. Javelin and United 24 and to fucking, repost shit online, but to actually get their boots dirty, to actually put their fucking feet on the ground and look them fucking face to face, eye to eye, and say, I fucking support you and I will to the end. And not only me, but the community that I represent, right? My friends, my family, we support you. And they couldn't be more supportive and appreciative of everything that is being done, even though we should be doing a whole lot fucking more. And that's a life-changing experience. And that's something that Donald Trump doesn't want to have to fucking experience. That's something that Donald Trump's team doesn't want him to have to experience. Doesn't want the media to get to capture him seeing fucking Ukrainians that have been bombed out of their homes because Vladimir Putin continues to target civilian infrastructure. Right? Talk to families who have had their entire fucking, family, all of their children stolen by the Russian military and sent back to Russia. Right? All of the fucking families that have lost loved ones in this war. They don't want him to have to go through that. And Donald Trump isn't even half a man enough to put himself through that. Right? Because then that would pull. I'm not even going to say it because that's not even fucking possible. But, thank you, Peter. Sorry to go off on a tangent, but thank you so much for your incredible contribution. Slava Ukraine. Thank you so much, Peter. I really do appreciate it, brother. I don't want to fucking lose my shit because I'm really close.
Steve Witkoff and Jared have done a fantastic job. And everybody has. Mark has been incredible. The whole group our group has been incredible. And Ukraine appreciates it, and Russia appreciates it. They both want to see it end.
Why wouldn't Russia appreciate Steve Witkoff literally coaching them on how to get the best of you? What's not to love for Russia? The fact that you sent across their 28-point peace plan that literally was fucking drawn up and drafted inside of the Kremlin walls, right? Why wouldn't they love that? I think there's actually, let me see if I can pull this off, because this should probably go to corroborate some of these statements, because I believe there was a Russian media monitor, right? Media monitor clip, and they were talking about how the Russian policy is now being dictated by Donald Trump. Here we go. This is it right here. Let me throw this on the screen. And again, just to kind of switch up a little bit, just to kind of fucking give you some more details. This is Russian state media. And look at the title of it. It says, State TV says Trump's foreign policy is inspired by Russia. Okay, so here we go. And I mean, again, we're not going to dive into all of this. Well, we don't even have to dive into any of that. I just kind of wanted to show you the headline, because they go on to talk about how Trump's foreign policy is basically inspired by what's best for Russia, what Putin wants, what he demands, right? As opposed to what the Ukrainians, our allies, need, deserve, and were promised, right? So again, just to further drill home that fucking point. All right, let's continue with this.
And we're going to get it ended. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you, I think, at the end, but I do think we'll call Europe also. We're going to speak to the European leaders. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ. Look at the fucking doors. Will you please? All right, so that was obviously President Donald Trump meeting with President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelenskyy, and Donald Trump doing what he does best, is propping up the Russians, and again, not putting pressure on the Russians while just lying through his teeth. That's basically what we just saw. So they'll go in, they'll meet, they'll probably talk to the European leaders. What is this? Is this a replay? Yeah, this is just a replay. So they'll go in, they'll probably have their meetings, they'll talk to the European leaders. I'm not sure if he'll. I'm assuming he'll call Putin after the meeting with Zelenskyy is finished. So again, if they pop back into any other moments here, as they sometimes do in different areas and different meeting spots in the White House, I'll see if I can kind of pick that back up. or get any clips on that as well. But let's dive into, what do you say, a little bit of a couple of these other clips that I wanted to talk about as well. So we got a couple, MAGA bashing clips here, which you guys should enjoy a lot. So please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 20,000 subscribers, which is, again, I think that's like the cusp of legitimacy, right? I think like anything over 20,000, people kind of start to give you a little bit more, I don't want to say respect, but, they give you a little fucking more attention, let's say. So let's try to get us there. I appreciate everybody who's helped get us to this point. Can't thank you enough. It's been an amazing run, an amazing push. And again, I'm very, very appreciative of the support that you guys have all shown me. But let's continue that. Let's make sure that we put our fucking foot down on that gas. Let's make sure that we're putting our foot down on the throat that is Donald Trump and GOP, metaphorically, of course, here, so we can take him down politically, and help us grow this channel. Let's help us grow this channel, grow this platform. We're on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. Follow me all over at Blue Sky. We're on Substack. We're on what's the other one with Instagram there? Fucking that one. The other one. Threads. That one. There's fucking too many. It's too many. And TikTok, of course. So just follow me everywhere. That would be a big help. But again, this is Brian Shapiro. Some of you may or may not be familiar with him. Has a channel here called Pushing the Limits. I believe he has a radio show that he does, like call-ins with MAGA. He's got several viral moments that have gone, like I said, viral. So in taking down MAGA. So this is just a moment here. And again, I'm not sure when this was from. I know it was posted a day ago, but like I said, a lot of people are doing the vacation thing, so they're kind of posting maybe old footage. It doesn't say anything about that, so I'm assuming, again, with just a few things that I've heard referenced, that this is a newer clip and not an older clip. But he does a very good job here, as he usually does, against, I believe it's 2 or 3 different Tim Pool acolytes at the same time, which is kind of how they get around their mental deficiencies, their inability to, come up with or recall facts or live within reality. So they take basically one liberal or one progressive or whatever the fuck you want to call yourselves, right? And then they'll team up 3 or 4 or 5 different people against that one person, whether it's, I think Luke Beasley kind of put himself in this position a couple times. There's been a few different liberal or leftist content creators that have put themselves in this position, and they've come out on top pretty much every time that I've seen, because the Republicans, they need more than 3, 4, or 5 people to, again, put together one coherent thought. Right. And we know that. But again, this is Brian Shapiro. Again, his channel is Pushing the Limits. Shout out to Bri. Shout out to Pushing the Limits. Subscribe over there if you are not already. He's definitely on the right side of history. You may agree with him on a lot of things. You may disagree with him on a lot of things. But let's see if we can check this out, and you can kind of come to your own conclusions. Again, Brian Shapiro wrecks Tim Pool's crew, slamming Trump's speech, saying Trump is lying about the economy. Let's dive into a couple minutes of this. I appreciate you guys. Once again, I'm Boston Brian. Thank you so much for joining me. Hit that like button.
I think we all could probably agree that facts do matter. And I just quickly wrote down all the lies. First of all, he said, quote, all prices are coming down. I just want to remind everybody that inflation has gone up for the 5th straight month in a row. He bragged about job growth.
Inflation's not prices, though. Inflation,
okay, but he said
inflation is price.
I understand that, but inflation has gone up 5 months in a row. That's and by the way, all prices are not coming down. Just ask people that go to the grocery store. There are some, eggs and some other things, but not all prices are coming down. Also,
also, was Tim Pool's buddy there, his little cohort? Was he trying to say that in an inflationary period that prices don't go up? Isn't that a direct correlation we saw? I don't know, say like when COVID was a fucking thing, when Donald Trump was allowing millions of people in this country to die needlessly because the humidity was going to kill it or some bullshit, or the bleach. No, it was the bleach. Or was it the UV light? Or was it the humidity attached to the UV light that you dipped in bleach? It was one of those things. I'm not sure. We'll have to go back to Donald Trump's statement on that one.
Bragged about the job growth. We had some of the worst private sector job growth. It has been abysmal. He talked about unemployment, which is incredible, because when Joe Biden left office, it was at 4.1%. It's now at 4.7%. So he lied about that also.
Isn't there the reason that the unemployment is higher is because of a lot of the cuts that have been made to the government?
That's a part of it. But when you say
brother, there haven't been that many cuts made to the federal government, I assure you, that would affect the overall fucking unemployment rate for the whole country on that much. Right. There's definitely other aspects. There's definitely other things attributed to that number that have affected that. I mean, it's not just the fact that Donald Trump cut so much of the fucking private sector. He's gotten rid of so much of the government that it made the unemployment number for the entire country spike to this level all by itself, which is what Tim Pool show with these guys. I don't know their names because it's not important enough. They want you to believe. That's what they want you to believe.
That the unemployment numbers are at all-time high, or all-time lows. It's a lie. And when he talks about peace in the Middle East,
was he just on his phone? Was he trying? This guy, this is what they try to do. He's like, all right, please just give me one fact. This guy's going he's going raw dog, no phone. And then you look over.
That's part of it. But when you say that the unemployment numbers are at all-time high, or all-time lows,
nope, not him.
It's a lie.
There you go. This guy's definitely on Chat GPT. Like, just give me what's one Trump policy I can state. Give me one good thing Trump has done, Chat GPT, please. Please, Chat GPT. Don't let me give Tim Ben Shapiro Tim Pool his beanie back. I mean, is that now a requirement on Tim Pool's set? Is you have to wear a winter hat inside the studio that doesn't cover your ears at all? Is that just a requirement? Anyway.
And when he talks about peace in the Middle East, he said that, and then the next day, Hamas and Israel broke the ceasefire agreement. There is not peace in the Middle East. Hamas was going door to door executing people.
I can kind of get behind that one. We finally solved the 3,000-year-old
executing
war.
Palestinians, right?
He said that there was peace.
Somehow fucking, I don't know, Mitch Hedberg is on Tim Pool's set all of a sudden. Rest in peace.
Gaza. No, but there is not peace in Gaza. There is not peace in the Middle East.
But that's not war with Israel anymore. That's Gaza.
Well, dickhead, I'll have you know that I believe the number is now upwards of some 400 Palestinians that have been killed just since that ceasefire, the non-existent ceasefire that isn't a ceasefire, that's ridiculous to call a ceasefire, has been announced. So again, how do you put that in line? We could talk about the events and the atrocities committed by Hamas upon their own people, absolutely. But again, are we going to just sit here and act like Israel hasn't perpetrated any of the killings, like the videos that we've seen? Let's say, I don't know, of the two gentlemen that crawled out from underneath, from out of that garage door, and then were summarily executed on video. Again, is that a ceasefire to you? Or are you just going to continue to talk about one side? That's just, again, how they play. I understand. But it's kind of, they just put themselves in this hole. They make themselves sound so ignorant and so stupid by not bringing up, if you're mad about this, then that's sure as fuck should be mad about this, right? And they're just not. They're just not.
Executing Palestinians.
But when you say there is peace in the Middle East, and when Israel breaks the ceasefire.
Peace in the Middle East was achieved under Jared Kushner in the first term, Bri, in Trump's first term. You didn't know? Well, now you know. We've already had that for a long time now.
Fire and Hamas breaks a ceasefire. That is not my definition of peace.
That's because you're a rational human being with multiple brain cells that didn't listen to Donald Trump's bullshit and propaganda and can decipher between again bullshit and what's happening in reality. That's why you're able to say, that don't make no sense, right? That is not adding up. That don't maths. The maths ain't mathing on that one, sir.
But again, I think that what you're talking about is a different thing. Hamas is killing Palestinians. That's not. I mean, unless you're making the argument.
No. Also, Israelis, the Israeli government, the IDF is also killing Palestinians. So is that a ceasefire? Does that equal peace to you? Is that what peace looks like in the Middle East? When you think about peace in the Middle East, is that peaceful? Pretty simple fucking answer to that question, dude. I mean, it just, again, you don't have to walk around in circles to try to, justify your agenda while also making yourself look like a complete and total asshole in front of, I don't know, all of, how many people watch this? Probably 100,000 or something.
Hamas is actually having a war against Palestinians.
When somebody says there's peace in the Middle East.
Again, if you're talking about Hamas killing Palestinians,
no. Do you understand what the Middle East consists of? The Middle East is a lot bigger than Gaza. I don't know I'm not sure if you're aware. I know how they talk about Americans and geography and a lot, passports and all of that, and they kind of do us dirty on the world stage in that regard. But I would have you know that the Middle East consists of many more countries and areas than just the areas that Hamas controls. Just in case you were wondering, any MAGAs in the chat that just kind of skipped out of social studies, didn't do geography, are unclear what the Middle East actually consists of or what the word ceasefire actually means, pay attention.
not war. That's Hamas killing Palestinians,
So-
because that's essentially the governing body,
Right.
because they've been elected in Gaza.
So is that peaceful? Just again, peaceful. Let's even go by with what you're stating, right? We'll even just take with just what you've stated so far. Does that equal peace? Is that a peaceful situation that you're describing, or is that non-peaceful? Would that justify, I don't know, shots being fired, which is antithetical to a ceasefire? I don't know, just the way that my brain works.
But that's Hamas killing their own people. That's
but my
not
definition
war.
of peace in the Middle East would be not breaking a ceasefire, which Israel and Hamas did. There is not peace in Gaza, like you
I don't
said.
know. He's probably, Bry at this point is probably spit out 5, 6, 7 different facts about Donald Trump, and not one of them has been directly combated, right? Not one of them, not one of those times that they said, no, here's a fact that I want to bring up. Here's an instance that Donald Trump said this or did this that will directly combat what you just said. Not a single fucking one of these points has been combated so far. And the only thing they can say is, yes, it's a ceasefire, and yes, there's peace in the Middle East because Hamas is killing Palestinians. That's, again, Tim Pool's show. People watch this, really. They watch this shit for information. And you wonder why our country's so fucked.
He also said, we're giving all these tax cuts, the biggest in American history. Well, he mentioned the big and beautiful bill, and I mentioned $100 billion in tax cuts this year to the top 1%. And he also said checks are on the way. I remember Doge saying that we were all going to get $5,000 checks. Do you remember that when Trump was bragging about that? Did you guys ever get that check? I never got a $5,000 check from Doge, but I'm sure those checks are coming. And then he mentions healthcare.
But you're saying that that's not going to happen. But you can't really say that it's a lie if he's talking about something in the future.
Well,
I'm sorry. You understand what a lie is, right? When he says something's going to happen and then that doesn't happen, he was lying to you, right? So you just think what, at like his fucking in the 9th hour in his 4th year, he's just gonna slap everybody with that $5,000 Doge check he promised everybody in the first 2 months of the administration. That's how you think this is gonna roll. So again, sounds to me like Bry jokingly asked, hey, did you guys receive your check? Like, you guys waiting for your check? I truly believe, and I wouldn't fucking put it past these people for checking their mail every single day for that check. Like, I truly could see these fucking numbskulls going to their mailbox every day being like, Trump check's got to be there today. Elon Musk must have sent it already. They promised us that $5,000 months ago. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, hopefully that military check they're sending out to the military isn't the $5,000 that I was supposed to get. But I could see, I could see them going to their mailbox every single day and be like, nope, not today, sweetheart. Get back in the fucking kitchen.
I've named you a few lies, but now I'm going into some things
you said let's list all his lies.
Well,
you're saying that the future is going to be a lie. So I don't know that the checks are on their way or not.
I believe that's a lie. I don't believe we're getting checks
so
that
let's
are.
just go by what we do know and what he did say. Okay, he said you were getting checks. Have you gotten them yet? No. So up until this point, he's fucking lying to you. Whatever happens in the future, maybe we'll change that statement. And we can say he was just egging you on and leading you on, and it didn't happen when he said it was going to happen. But up until this point, he's lying directly to your face because he said he was going to do something, did not do that. That's just pretty A plus. Yeah, it's just pretty simple. That's it.
On the way.
Just we're not getting. I'm not in the military. But he said that it's going to military.
I understand.
members.
I just don't believe anything
Even
he
the
said.
military checks on $5,000 though. What were they? 1776, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. PETA, right there, right? The other slap in the face is to the military is $1,776 is allowance already budgeted. It's their money, not a bonus. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, Peter, that was supposed to go towards housing. Like it was already allocated for housing purposes. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but you're 100% right, because Peter here is accurately explaining that even the $1,776 check that the military members are supposed to be getting isn't like a bonus, right? This isn't above and beyond their allowances or their salary or their other bonuses or whatever they're entitled to. This is coming out of some other fund. This is coming out of some other aspects. And somebody said, yeah, correct housing allowances. Brenda says correct housing allowances. Somebody else says correct. And then Grubby Cat says, yes, it was for housing. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was correct. I want to make sure I'm giving you guys accurate information. But Peter, you're 100% fucking right. And again, Doge promised all Americans $5,000. There's substantial more Americans in this fucking country than there are active duty service members. So if we could at one time supposedly afford to give, all adult or voting age fucking people in this country a check for $5,000 like they promised, why are we then robbing Peter to pay Paul and only giving our military service members a fake bonus check that's coming out of some other aspect of their, of their careers, of what they're afforded already? And they're only getting $1,776? Why? I thought he was, why? Does he still consider them suckers and losers? I guess suckers and losers wouldn't actually recognize that this isn't a bonus. Suckers and losers that Donald Trump calls military veterans and people that have been captured as POWs for putting their fucking life on the line for defending and upholding the Constitution of this country against enemies, both foreign and domestic. So I guess that's how that's what he thinks these people deserve. They're so fucking stupid and incompetent, according to Donald Trump. You ignorant assholes that didn't use 7 deferments to get out of, serving your country, right? You morons that actually put your life on the line and go over to foreign countries and, that speak a language you don't know, that are fighting for fucking issues you don't really truly understand. You're an idiot. If you listen to Donald Trump, you're an idiot for doing all that. Which is exactly why he doesn't believe that the military would even notice that this money was coming out of housing and being told to them, being reported as bonuses, which a bonus would be above and beyond shit that they're already entitled to, already afforded per their fucking active duty service. So this is not a bonus. So great point, Peter. Thank you so much for bringing that up, man. I really do appreciate you guys. You guys are unbelievable in the chat. Always smart, so intelligent. Always on top of things, and I can't thank you enough for, again, keeping me on point, keeping me up to speed with things. A lot of the times it's you guys learning me and not me learning you. So that just goes to show you the dynamic of this show and how much, again, I appreciate you guys, how much you guys are involved in the show, how much you mean to the show, and how much, again, like I said, I appreciate you engaging. Really do. I really do. So, let's see what time we got. I'm going to dump on to, let's see, we get a couple more to see. So let's dump on to the Gunny video because I like this guy. This guy is just a fucking badass. I like him. I really like him. He's got fucking balls of steel. Again, in case you're not familiar, his name is Gunny Speaks Out. That's the name of his channel. If you're on Instagram, you've probably seen him. If not, search him on Instagram. Again, it's Gunny Speaks Out here on YouTube. Only got 15.6 thousand subscribers. Should be at least 150.6 thousand subscribers, in my opinion, if not more at this point. But again, he is a veteran himself, who makes it a point to drive around and film himself engaging with people that confront him about his fuck Trump flag that he always has on the back of his bike. And again, he knows his shit. He's on point with the Constitution. He's on point with shit that Trump has done. He has no problems calling people out if they're man, woman, child, black, white, Chinese, pink, purple. Doesn't fucking matter. He calls them all assholes and tells them all to fuck off if they voted for Donald Trump. And again, I just want to show you a little bit of his video that he just put out. I think this is the most recent one, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, I lied. This is a month ago. But again, this is, he's got a bunch of videos like this. So you can find any number of videos just like this. This one is just, again, him debating a MAGA woman, apparently. But again, let's dive into this. I appreciate his content. I appreciate what he does for this country. And again, if anybody that's not subscribed to Gunny Speaks Out, shout out to Gunny, shout out to his channel. Please head over there and subscribe to him. And again, just a quick clip from him. And there's many more like this.
Yeah. So what's the flag mean?
What is the flag? It means fuck Trump. Like fuck Trump. He's like a terrible person.
Yeah.
Number one. And then if you voted for him, fuck you too.
And so I'm not challenging.
Like, just no beating around the bush. Like, this guy would be somebody, I don't know if he drinks, I don't know what his vices are, but we could definitely sit down at a bar and have a fucking beer together. I know it. We just would fucking hit it off right away. We could suck them pints down like there's no tomorrow. And we could bash on the Republicans. Oh boy, could we bash on the Republicans. But he just doesn't give a shit. He doesn't. You're a piece of shit. He says it blatantly right to your face. You're a fucking piece of shit if you voted for Donald Trump, right? Just period, point blank. Doesn't care who you are, how old you are, what you did, how much money you got, right to your face. Love it.
Curious, like, a dialogue.
Yeah.
So what's that mean though? Like, because why? Like, so,
okay.
Like, if like,
I need to clarify. Who did you vote for?
I did vote for Trump, actually.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
women are the worst in my opinion, because I feel like you guys, for one, like, the overturning of Roe versus Wade. I don't normally debate this topic because I'm not a woman.
Yeah.
But just because I'm speaking to you, I'll say my point on that.
I mean, I won't give her too much credit. I'm not going to give too much credit here, but I mean, I will at least go as far as to give her credit for seemingly engaging in, I guess, good faith, right? Like she seems to be genuinely interested in, what his beliefs are, engaging. She doesn't seem to be like screaming or yelling, excuse me, or like, saying the normal talking points or rhetoric. Like she seems to be calm and actually saying, okay, so as far as dialogue, that much I will give her. But, nobody can be forgiven for, voting for Donald Trump, especially women voting against their own self-interest, voting against their own peers, other women. Again, it's hard for anybody to justify and excuse that. And he doesn't do any of that. So let's go on.
You basically voted against millions and millions of women who have since lost their lives because abortion is healthcare, for one. And then a quick summary.
I'm pro-choice, by the way. Like, I don't care if you.
Okay, well, then
how the fuck can you put that together? How the fuck can you consider yourself pro-choice, but you voted for Donald Trump? Please, for the love of fucking Andy, somebody explain that to me. That, I mean, if I had a degree or fucking a master's or several fucking degrees, whatever it takes to be a psychologist or a fucking a psychiatrist or whatever you need to be in order to study what goes into thinking shit like this, I wish I had those credentials. Because how the fuck you could be like, in the same breath, I voted for Donald Trump and I'm pro-choice, makes no fucking sense to me, mate. Not a fucking one. You fucking lunatic. Fuck me.
Well, okay. Okay. Well, at least you're pro-choice on that. So that's beside the point. But my summary, what I tell Trump supporters is just my own personal 4 big things. And I'm a veteran.
And this is about the most restrained and subdued I've seen Gunny in the videos that I've seen. And, he seems to be obviously approaching his conversation with a lady, with a woman, a lot different than he does with, some of the gentlemen, some of the other idiots that he engages with. So, good to see he's being, respectful and trying to engage politely and getting his point across. But at some point, he gets frustrated.
He's a draft dodging, sexual abuser, 34-time convicted felon, con man, narcissist, and insurrectionist. I was going to kind of sum up everything. That is essentially like,
yeah.
And the top of my list is the sexual abuser, because he was found civilly liable of sexually abusing Ethan Carroll.
So listing off all of the facts, right? Everything that's been proven, all of the shit that he's done, obviously not all of it, but able to be able, to list off enough shit where it's getting in this woman's head to be like, oh shit, yeah, you're right. That doesn't sound good. The way you said that, now that you say it that way, I guess that doesn't sound that good, right? So again, a big ups to him for doing this.
That's probably at the top of my list.
Really? Did you know her personally?
Does it matter?
What the fuck does that matter? So he's talking about Donald Trump being found, liable for the sexual assault of E. Jean Carroll. And her response is, did you know her personally? Do you have to know somebody personally in order to feel compassion and empathy for that person or to want to see justice and accountability? Because I sure as fuck don't. I don't need a personal connection with somebody to feel for that person, right? Christ, I cry on a fucking scrolling through reels all the time at sad videos at shit, whether it's, military service people coming home, seeing their wives and their kids or, the dogs meeting them, whatever the fuck, right? You know what I mean? You don't need to know somebody personally. You don't have to have, a firsthand knowledge of somebody in order to be like, wow, that's a shitty act. That shouldn't happen to fucking anybody. That's sad. That person should be held accountable. She should see fucking justice, for the crimes that have been perpetrated against her. That just shouldn't happen. So again, very telling with the way that she answered that question, whether she responds.
I'm just asking. I mean, like you asking me who I voted for.
Do you think he did it?
I think a lot of things are for engagement. I think a lot of things are to get people angry and anger.
But do you believe her story?
I do not.
You don't? No. So you're a woman that doesn't believe another woman. You're a piece of shit.
I think there's.
What more needs to be said? I mean, I don't think that I would have in this situation said anything differently. That verbatim would have been the same shit coming out of my mouth. You're a woman that voted against other women in their self-interest. You're a piece of fucking shit. And that's just how blunt he is. That's just a clear example, even in this case where he's speaking to a female and he's being a lot more subdued, like I said, than he normally is. He's not afraid to be like, you're a fucking loser. You're a piece of shit for voting against your own fucking Americans, for your own self-interest, your own fucking, peers and allies in this fucking country. You're a piece of shit, right? I love it. Let's see, just one more, because I know he's got a few more of these.
I know you want dialogue, but fuck you. You're a piece of shit.
But I'm just having a conversation.
I don't care.
I think
a woman not believing a woman, you are probably a bigger piece of shit than Trump.
Have you ever had somebody tell like stories about you? Has that ever happened to you? Where
Nope. There has never been 25 to 30 women that put in allegations of sexual assault. Nope. There's never been one that actually went to court and was actually found credibly liable for that sexual assault. No, that's actually never happened. Nope. Answer that question really fucking quickly. Nope. Never. Not at once.
We're talking about women and sexual abuse, not me. Stop like pivoting to something else.
No,
Tell me why. Nope. Tell me why you don't believe her.
Because
she wanted. Let me guess. Because she wanted money.
No, because Reid Hoffman funded this thing to the tune of like.
Did he? Where's your proof?
$20 million.
Where's your proof?
His proof. He tweeted about it.
His tweet is proof. You're a fucking moron.
Yeah, no, he said it.
Oh, I love it. I just fucking love it. You're a fucking moron, lady says. I love it. So let's see here, because there's a couple. Let's see if I can go to his channel. Because just to show you what he's all about. Let me see. There's got to be a couple shorts. So should I go to videos? Here's here's it. We'll do this short. Here's one of them. Here you go. Yeah, I'll put the sound on.
What's that? I am growing. What's that?
Grow up.
I am grow up. I'm 54 years old.
Well, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Doing this
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
Can you tell me why you voted for Trump?
Because he's helping us out.
He's helping you out?
Yes.
How is he helping you out?
Well, he done lowering gas down.
Does the president control gas prices?
Yeah.
How does he control gas prices?
Oh, bullshit. You know what you are.
What am I?
Motherfucker. Come on. That's what you are.
I'm going to be nice to you. Actually, I was going to be nice to you until you called me that. But I think as a woman voting for Trump, you're a piece of shit.
I was done.
Oh, and you're a piece of shit, too. You're a piece of shit. Yeah.
I'm ready to go to jail. I'm ready to put you in the house.
Punch me. Punch me.
I'm ready to put you in the house.
Do it.
Come on.
I do it.
Call my mom.
Listen, with Gunny, anybody can get it. He don't give a fuck if you're a granny, a nanny. You don't give a fuck. He don't care if you're granny's son, a lady. He don't give a shit. You are a fucking piece of shit, and he will tell you so to your face. And I fucking admire him for it. I really do. I love it. I fucking love it.
Do it. I'm right here. Come on, do it. Do it. Oh, you're a Trump supporter too?
Call my mom, Trump again.
Hey, your mom's a piece of shit. Your mom, hey, and you're a piece of shit too.
He says your mom's a piece of shit and you're a piece of shit too. Oh, fucking Lanta. There's so many of them like this too. Hold on. Baby birdies, go ahead. Oh, I don't know if that's
I firmly believe.
Oh, hold on. There we go.
Hey, were you the one that said Trump's not gay? Did you tell me that? Did you say Trump's not gay earlier? Hey, hey.
I like follow you on Instagram. Oh my God, I love you.
What's up?
I love you, dude. I love your post.
Watch it. Hey.
Oh my God, have you ever seen the guy riding around with the fuck Trump flag on his motorcycle?
Watch it.
So clearly running into fans, but I mean, you can see this is basically what he does, right? This is basically what he does. He goes around with the flag, waits till people who engage him, and then he fucking just rips them apart in their souls and everything. Let's see. There's a bunch of good ones. Here's some of them too.
You like Trump?
Absolutely.
This says fuck Trump.
Oh, too bad. I didn't read the sign.
Yeah. It says fuck Trump.
I guess we're on opposite. I saw that, but I thought that was a joke.
No. That's
Okay. All right, so we're on opposite sides of the fence.
Yeah. So,
but I could still.
Why did? But yeah. But why do you like Trump?
The list is enormous.
It's so enormous they can't think of one fucking reason. Yeah, it's along the same lines as like what's the other two guys that do it? The liars, or what's it called? Truth and Liars. The tall guy and the short guy that typically go around to like the Trump rallies. What's it called? The Good Liars? Good Liars, is that what it's called? Sorry, I'm blanking on the name. Something like that. Something Liars, I know that. But definitely something along those lines. But I mean, he doesn't, he just waits for people to engage him. The Good Liars. They go to Trump rallies, right? So it's kind of an atmosphere where you expect kind of contention and people to want to go up to the camera. Like he's just got this and waits for different random people, right, in Target parking lots or Walmart parking lots, wherever, lets them engage them and says, you know what, fuck you. Tell me why you supported them. They always end up looking like assholes or they have no reason whatsoever. Ask them specific questions about the Constitution that they can't answer ever. So again, his name is, again, Gunny in the Wild, and I really do appreciate his content. I'm going to see if I can reach out. I've already reached out, but I'll see if I can reach out again and see if I can get him on the old Showski, because, again, I'd love to hear his takes and insights and, some of the interactions that he's had with different people and what he's kind of hearing on the streets as far as maybe a shift in rhetoric or popularity with Donald Trump. What the fuck is this? How did Star Trek just come on? The fuck was that? Star Trek was just playing for a second. I don't know how that happened. All right, let's see if we can dive into our next. And again, if we have time at the end of the show, we'll see if we can check out a couple more of those. But again, this is what we're talking about in terms of Donald Trump now standing up in front of the free world, in front of the fucking world with Volodymyr Zelenskyy, saying that Russia also wants peace. Now, let's take a look at how badly Russia apparently wants peace, as, again, they're undertaking these strikes on civilian infrastructure just prior to the meeting between Zelenskyy and Trump. And the outcome of that is Donald Trump again praising Russia for wanting peace and saying that both parties involved want peace, which is blatantly asinine. All right. And this, again, just a quick update. This is 2 minutes, 35 seconds talking about just the recent strikes last night and the ongoing strikes pretty much every night in Kyiv. These are just the most recent ones.
Following one of the heaviest Russian aerial assaults on Ukraine's capital in weeks. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer at our London bureau has the very latest tonight.
Good evening. It's been a cold day for hundreds of thousands of residents of Kyiv. That Russian attack left fully a third of the city without power. Last night, the skies were full of drones, loud, ominous, and invisible. Until they hit. Terrified residents posted video they'd filmed out their windows. The attack with 500 drones and dozens.
Wow, the only reason that one got taken out, what, that hit the wire? Looked like it hit the fucking the electrical wire there, didn't it? Check this out. Yeah, it definitely did. Definitely clipped that wire, which probably saved whatever target that was going
filmed
for.
Out their windows. The attack with 500 drones and dozens of missiles went on for 10 long hours. In the morning, rescue crews were
And if I'm not mistaken, one of those first shots that they just showed here was the exact, if I'm not mistaken, let me see here if I can put this on the screen just for a second here. I thought it was one of the first ones they showed. Looked like the exact area in which looks like this is the downtown, looks like this is downtown Kyiv, right? So this area right here, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, tough to tell by the angle in which we're at, but I do believe this is like the triangle. There's like, I don't know, it's not called the triangle of safety or anything, but there was basically three different or multiple different hotels inside the city center of Kyiv. And then they formed kind of, a ring or a triangle type of area. And that was kind of known as the safe zone, so to speak. It was an area that Russia had attacked earlier in the war. but had increasingly realized that a lot of diplomats, a lot of foreign travelers, a lot of humanitarian aid organizations were staying in these areas and in these hotels. So they kind of stopped attacking that area. So it was kind of known as a green zone, a safe zone. Between these, high-profile hotels that a lot of, again, foreign travelers, dignitaries, heads of state, whatever it may be, they're staying at. So, again, to avoid international incidents, they basically avoided attacking that area. But it does look like that this is again, forgive me if I'm wrong, Kiev's a huge city, and it's tough to tell, just by this, of course, in the dark. But I do believe this is the same area. Is this the underground mall? Hold on, let me see if I can get out of the way. This almost looks like this is the underground mall on the bottom right of your screen, but I may be mistaken.
Visible. Until they hit. Terrified residents posted video they'd filmed out their windows. The attack with 500 drones and dozens of missiles went on for 10 long hours. In the morning, rescue crews were still pulling the injured from houses and apartment buildings, which were left in.
Again, does this look like, by any means, a military target? Where are the warplanes, right? Where are where's the drone factory? Where is the infantry being housed? Where are the vehicles being maintained or maintenanced or worked on or installed or built? Because to me, it looks like purely 100% nothing other than residential apartment complexes. So to, again, instill fear, to kill, to harm, to put in harm's way the civilian population, as opposed to what the Russian propaganda has you believe they're striking, which is, again, military targets. And you got fucking morons all over places like Twitter justifying this shit, talking about this. And again, we still have to figure out. I wish we could continuously find out. I don't know if that's even still a thing. Remember, we're on Twitter for like that. I think it was 24 hours or something. You could see where all the fucking accounts were out of. Again, if they weren't using a VPN or some other, little little hack trick they were using. But I'd love to know, because there's this one Che Bowles or whatever. Let's see if I can find this motherfucker, because, oh boy, would I like to catch this guy in a fucking elevator. Let me see. I don't know if he's British. I think I heard a video that he made where he's speaking on it once, and he's fucking British or something like that. But he's living in Moscow, apparently, supposedly, allegedly. Yeah, this fucking moron. This decrepit looking son of a bitch. Right? Check this out. So what's he say? So he posted one just the other day I saw where he's talking about snowing in Moscow or something. Here you go. Vladimir Putin's own family suffered terribly during the Nazi siege of Leningrad. So doing more Putin propaganda here, right? Russians never forget. He's not Russian. A shifty, there he is talking bad about Zelenskyy. A shifty-looking Zelenskyy is met in Miami by his envoy, Olga Stefashania, who was accused of embezzlement. Embezzlement is spelled wrong, because he's a fucking moron, of $2.5 million, right? Accused by somebody that's a Russian propagandist, a Russian puppet, is adorable. That's just, it's really wholly cute and adorable that, again, they would accuse anybody else beyond, I don't know, the Russian people, the Russian government, the Russian oligarchs, and Vladimir Putin himself of embezzlement and corruption. Right. And again, not to deny the fact that Ukraine has for a long time had a corruption issue, but again, would be remiss, and it would be fucking totally incorrect of us not to point out the Russian association and the Russian infiltration in that whole aspect of perpetrating corruption and instilling corruption inside of Ukraine and the Ukrainian parliament and the Ukrainian government. Right. So, again, you can't talk about one without having the other. And it also, you look really fucking stupid. Again, see how I just did? Hey, I am willing to acknowledge that there are absolutely aspects of the Ukrainian society and corruption in particular that need to be fucking fixed, that need to be eradicated and dealt with. No problem saying that, because I live within reality. I'm a human being, and I can acknowledge, things that I'm seeing in real time. These people cannot, because if they were, they'd be able to acknowledge the buku amounts of fucking embezzlement and corruption, more so happening in Russia than it ever is taking place in Ukraine. But they don't. because that doesn't fit with their fucking, their propaganda. It doesn't fit with their narrative. Let me see here, because there's one, I don't think it was that long ago. I might be wrong, though. Like I said, everybody's posting old shit. Here he is. Russia's astounding Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg has to be seen to be believed. Fuck off. There you go. Posting more propaganda, more propaganda, more propaganda. He had one here talking about how Ursula von der Leyen wasn't elected, which was easily disputable. He's always posting stupid shit like this. Just absolute fucking tits. Yeah, here it is. I took a walk on Red Square in Moscow last night, he says. Families, kids, couples, and young people enjoying the city. No drunks, no addicts, no gang violence or threats, right? No drunks in Russia. I'm sorry. You lost me. You definitely lost me at no drunks in Russia. If anything you said before that was even remotely believable, you certainly lost me at no drunks in Russia. What? Are you out of your fucking tits? No drunks in Russia. That's like saying there's no pedophiles in Russia. That's like saying there's no fucking child sex trafficking in Russia. What? Hello? Fucking McFly. You asshole. What an asshole. Unbelievable. Yeah, this is, again, I don't know if he speaks in this one. It sounds like there might be some copyrighted music or something. Hold on, let me see. I don't know. I'm not going to take the chance with that music. I don't know. Maybe copyrighted in Russia or whatnot. I'll have the fucking FSB showing up at my door trying to give me a copyright strike. But yeah, no drunks in this 1 minute and 53 second video that he took, which proves a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Really proves a lot, I must say. But no, definitely no drunks in Russia. But I mean, it's all filled like this. This entire watch. Here we go. Vladimir Putin News. Is an actual fucking account. Let's see here. An account with 294,000 followers. Breaking news, not affiliated with real Putin, but just a fan page. Okay? Talking about Lavrov. Here's Che, right? Don't have to look too far to get at the old Russian propaganda with him. This asshole is another big propagandist. Jurgen Naudot. Let's see here. It just continues. There's a lot that I've seen recently on like people in the UK, right? People in, Great Britain that are trying to come out and say that because of the step up in rhetoric against Russia, that they would rather be friendly with Russia than they would, again, experience a war with Russia and defend democracy. So again, I don't know if that's just something being pushed on these sites and is just kind of maybe overrepresented in stuff that you see on places like Twitter and stuff, as opposed to what you'll hear, on the streets of the everyday people. But again, a lot of this, I mean, it's all Russian propaganda, baby. All fucking Russian propaganda. And every now and again, you'll get these, pro-Ukrainian sites thrown in there. But again, on the overwhelming basis, it is pro-Russian on this fucking shithole. But again, just to bring you guys that aspect, just to show you that. All right, let's dive into a little bit of what did I want to do next? Let's do this one. Because this is a pretty cool video that I wanted to show here, which is kind of giving us an accurate, not an animation, I guess it is an animation, but an accurate representation and details on the drone strike by the Russians on the by the Ukrainians on the Russian port at Novorossiysk. Right. So this is pretty cool. This was put out this morning by United 24, just giving us a little bit further detail, kind of reminiscent on Operation Spiderweb. Remember Operation Spiderweb, the drone attack that the Ukrainians launched on Russian airfields deep inside of Russia using the trucks filled with the drones and different aspects, and how we kind of covered that. United 24 did a little deep dive on how that went. This is very similar to that, just showing you how they went about getting this underwater sea drone into the port of Novorossiysk to attack these to attack the Russian fleet here. So again, hit that like button. I'm Boston Bryant. This is Blunt Politics. We are a pro-democracy, pro-Ukrainian, pro-humanitarian podcast here to basically sift through the propaganda, the bullshit, the lies of the mainstream media, different independent creators on the right, whatever they may be, just propaganda in general, and then we break it down. We put it into an easily digestible and consumable package, I hope, that makes it seem like you're just talking and discussing stuff with your friends and your family. That is my hopes. That is my goal for this show. That is just a comfortable space to talk generally, to talk regularly about politics and how it's affecting us, and not feel like you're being talked down to. You're not going to see me drinking with my fucking pinky up like some, rich prick liberal type of asshole. That's just not who I am. I actually don't even know what to call myself. I've still not put a fucking label on myself. I am who I am. I am a complete amalgamation of everything, right? I'm a human being, so I have all human emotions. I'm an asshole. I'm kind, right? I can fucking have the biggest temper you can see. It can also be compassionate, right? There's no one rhyme or reason to me. And, you guys make the decision based on the stuff that I advocate for and the things that the people I advocate for. And then, that's the decision that's made. I just don't like labeling myself. You guys can make that kind of descriptor for me, I guess. But again, judge me on who I cover, what I cover, and how I talk about these things. But again, pro-Ukrainian here, Slava Ukrainim, Heroyam Slava, to all of the fighters, all of my friends that I met in my time in Ukraine. So big ups to them. I appreciate what they're doing to uphold and defend democracy, uphold and defend their sovereignty. Excuse me. Somebody pointed out that for the last 40 years of my life, I've been saying sovereignty wrong. So thank you for pointing that out. I really do appreciate that. So, because I've been adding an extra syllable, I guess. I've been saying sovereignty. Why I'd say sovereignty, I don't fucking know, because it's sovereignty. I don't know. But whoever pointed that out, I appreciate it. So I don't look like an asshole. Because again, I'm not the brightest bulb in the tree, but I do try my hardest. All right, let's dive into this again. This is talking about the strike at the Russian port at Novorossiysk. Let's dive into it.
The night of December 15th.
Good. If I put it on the screen, that would be good. All right, let's put this on. My apologies. We go back.
2025. The Novorossiysk Naval Base, the main citadel of the Black Sea Fleet, was considered fully protected from surface threats. However, at 3:40 in the morning, that confidence was shattered. The operation had begun several hours earlier and was carried out by the Security Service of Ukraine jointly with the Ukrainian Navy. A sub-sea baby was sent towards the port, the newest in autonomous underwater drones. Unlike kamikaze boats, this vehicle...
So again, we're talking an advancement even above and beyond the original sea babies that we saw, right? That were on top of water on surface drones. I'm sure you recall any number of videos that were put out of the Russian ships, the Russian warships, trying to defend against these, smaller, almost jet ski looking type of unmanned vehicles, unmanned crafts, right? Well, this is just the latest development, right? This is basically the merging of the sea drones and torpedoes. Right, so this is now just a torpedo sent out there that somebody can fucking control. Imagine having that ability, and again, I don't know what the exact up-to-date capabilities are for the newest variant of torpedoes used by the United States Navy. But I mean, just think of in World War II having the ability to launch a torpedo from a great distance and then just remote controlled, just remotely fucking controlling it to your site without having to do, the calculations, the fucking math, without having to do the the geometry and shit to get the fucking path right, the speed, the angle, which way he's traveling, how fast he's traveling, where you got to aim. Again, this is just how quickly things are advancing in this war, and this is just another aspect of that. It's crazy to see.
Entirely underwater. This allowed it to pass unnoticed beneath the lines of boom barriers that blocked access to the harbor for surface targets. According to intelligence agencies, Ukrainian cyber specialists managed to gain access to the port's internal surveillance cameras.
So you'll probably recognize this shot, right, from our coverage of this exact moment, right? So you could definitely tell that this is the moment that we're talking about at this base, the same thing that we covered a few days ago at this point, maybe a week ago at this point.
Operators' eyes inside the protected perimeter. A Caliber missile carrier was moored at berth 14, and now the Sea Baby approaches the target and delivers a devastating strike to the stern. Observing the operation through enemy cameras, Ukrainians see the result of their special operation. Just think about it. A submarine worth $500 million was rendered inoperable by a drone costing only $2,000.
Now I'm wondering, there you can see the aftermath, right? But I'm wondering if they actually referenced that second submarine. Remember we pulled up that other video, what was it, Psychochemy or something like that? And he was talking about and referencing that second explosion nearer to that second submarine, which would be, again, even doubly substantial, considering one was 500 million, the other one, same thing. So you could double the cost, from this strike if that second submarine was again put out of action, like suspected here. But check this out. Just check the path that this sea drone had to go, right? So you had to go, you can see my mouse on the screen. So here is what they're calling like a submarine net, a drone net, like an underwater net, basically, that they have to stop, again, entrance from submarines, torpedoes, that type of thing. But apparently the Ukrainians have learned how deep below the water this fucking net is, and how deep that they're allowed to bring their underwater sea drones in order to avoid that. Now they have to come all through the port, and you can see just where they go around the breakwater. Here's the breakwater. So they have to go all the way past the port, basically, around the breakwater and back into port. Not only that, but they have to go around this second, looks to be breakwater, a pier there that you can see where my mouse is. And then the strike takes place right here. So, I mean, you can tell this isn't an easy mission by any chance, by any stretch of the imagination. Not only this, you can see other boats and vessels, right, in and around here. I'm sure the ones in ports aren't the only ones, so they have to be undetected going past that as well. So again, this isn't a simple mission undertaken by any stretch of the imagination to kind of give you the insight, the extent of what they had to go through in order just to get the drone on target.
Baby approaches the target and delivers a devastating strike to the stern. Observing the operation through enemy cameras, Ukrainians see the result of their special operation. Just think about it. A submarine worth $500 million was rendered inoperable by a drone costing only $2,000. This is incredible. And here are some clips that appeared on December 19th.
But he didn't say anything about that second. So right here, so that the explosion you can see right here, obviously you can see my mouse, right? So first explosion. Here's the second submarine, though. See this second submarine here? And per that second video that we watched, you can see the outline here of the submarine with my mouse is going over, right here. Per that second video that we watched, there was some sort of secondary explosion nearer towards that second submarine. Now, again, whether that's just not talked about or has been cut out of this kind of update, I'm not 100% sure, but it does seem like something that would be reported if it was confirmed by the Ukrainian authorities, the Ukrainian military, the Ukrainian intelligence agencies, right? So I don't know what we can kind of draw from that, but we'll see if they mention it.
Was rendered inoperable by a drone costing only $2,000. This is incredible. And here are some clips that appeared on December 19th. This is a Russian shadow fleet tanker in the Mediterranean Sea. The Ukrainians send a large number of drones into the air. The special operation was conducted at a distance of more than 2,000 kilometers from Ukrainian territory. This means the drones could not have flown there on their own, which means they were delivered by maritime carriers such as Sea Babies or Magura.
So those are the more familiar drones that we've seen, right? These ones right here, these are probably the more familiar type of drone you're used to seeing. Not only that one, but what was the other one right here? Let me see. Where the fuck to go? Yeah, this one right here. So this is probably more along the lines of what you're used to seeing as far as, surface vessels, surface drones on the water. Whereas now, obviously a lot harder to detect, a lot more difficult to take out. being under the waves, which again just goes to show you the rapid advancement of drone technology, of the warfare, of the way that these two sides are trying to get around the other side's defenses. It's very fucking rapid at war, and you know, again, that's something that we've learned throughout history, where, you know, as unfortunate as it is, war has a tendency of advancing technology in a way that kind of other human events don't. Right, it's just a lot more rapid, and of course the price that is paid by the human race is a lot more costly than the benefit, I believe. But again, that's something that is just a part of war.
The first drone strikes. Immediately after that, a second strike is delivered. Another series of
Again,
strikes.
just let's put this in perspective, right? You can see how small these drones are, being launched from, sea drones themselves. You can tell just by the explosions compared to the size of the tanker, right? Not huge explosions, right? Not all of a sudden just blasting this thing out of the water. But if you can hit these ships in the strategic position, right? And again, this is what Donald Trump's fucking battleships are going to be facing if he gets those shit houses built, right? This is the exact same thing. Slow moving. I'm sure obviously faster than this oil tanker is concerned, but, you know, on the whole, comparatively between other Navy vessels, between drones, they're slow. They're hard to maneuver, right? They're slow in starting up. They're slow in getting going. They're slow in stopping. Do they have incredible power? Do they, are they armored incredibly well? But that doesn't matter if you can send a fucking drone incredibly accurately down the smokestack of the fucking battleship. Kaboomy! All it takes is one, right? There are positions still on any one of these battleships, I can guarantee you, that are absolutely vulnerable to today's drone attacks that were not thought of. Right. And who knows, what's being thought of in today and how long this is going to take, and, what add-ons and how much armor. And of course, this 100 times more powerful bullshit. Who knows? But if we take a World War II Iowa class battleship, right, and then we pair that up and try to put that against the drones of today, whether it's, on the water vessels, underwater vessels, drones themselves in the air, right? Naval aircraft nowadays with what they're capable of. You're a fucking sitting duck. That's just it. If the enemy wants you, they'll have you, right? It may take them a shitload of fucking drones. It may take a lot of time considering the armor and whatnot. But again, a battleship is going to have a hell of a difficult time shooting down drones like this, even with the anti-aircraft power that I know they probably have on there, right? Even with the Sea Whizzes that they probably have attached. Like, you can still overwhelm those systems. And there's no better way to do that than cheap, inexpensive, tiny fucking drones that you can, you can maneuver and position incredibly accurately down to the fucking inch and send it into any one of these dangerous, vulnerable positions on the ship, whether the engine room, again, down the stack, where the ammo fucking is kept, whatever it may be. Because Donald Trump, we remember, was dumb enough to let the entire fucking world know where the ammo was stored on the USS Gerald R. Ford. Remember that? Remember that shit? Where he's talking about how he designed it and the fucking the catapult system. Remember all that bullshit? And he's up in front of the world and he tells everybody where the ammo is kept. Why would they keep the ammo underneath the fucking captain? I forget what he said, but something along those lines. And it's like, hey, dickhead, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you think we keep those blueprints a secret? You fucking moron. You don't want to tell the enemy where the fucking ammo storage is. Are you out of your mind? You know? Is anything happening? Send 1 to 2. Yeah, I can't say that on air. All right, let's check in, see if anything's going on with the... Is anybody actually still live? I'm not sure if they're still live. Let me see. No, it doesn't look like they're still live. So they'll probably pop back in looking at the Zelenskyy-Trump meeting if anything happens. I'm sure they'll probably set up in a different room somewhere and have some more statements. So let me see if I can just dive into, this was the last one that I wanted to get to. We got about 10 minutes left, a little less. Let's see if we can get into this one, because this kind of depicts and explains how difficult a time the Russians are having right now. I think we reported on the last show that we are entering the time per, I think, a Ukrainian report that the It's the first time that the Russians are losing more people from the battlefield than they're able to replace on the battlefield. Hopefully that is a true and accurate statement, but obviously the difficult time that the Russians are having is not a secret, is not propaganda, especially as we look at places around Kupiansk, the ongoing fighting still happening around Pokrovsk, right? Let's see if we can just take a real quick look here, see if any substantial changes have been made on the battlefield. Let's see here. We'll go up to Kupiansk real quick, see if anything's happened to those Russian troops that have been surrounded. So it looks like those pockets are still kind of sitting strong as far as the deep state map is concerned in and around Kupiansk, as you can see here, obviously the blue being liberated territory by the Ukrainians. Let's go down to Pokrovsk and see what's happening in and around that area. Let's see, where am I? Where am I? Where the fuck am I? Am I north? Am I too far south? Where am I? Why can't I find it? Kupiansk is up there, so it's going to be over here. What's going on? What's going on? Where the hell is Pokrovsk? Oh, here we go. All right. I knew I was in the right area. I was like, what the fuck's going on? So, all right. Looks like a little bit more territory has been taken here per the deep state map, right? You can just see here. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Now, if you can see my mouse on the screen, you can check out this area right here, this specific area, territory of Pokrovsk. Does seem like it has been now controlled or at least infiltrated by the Russians to an extent that deep state is comfortable shading this in red. So if you check out between the 26th and 27th, you can see a pretty substantial amount of territory has been now gained by the Russians. Again, as it pertains to how much area they have been gaining recently, which was minimal, if any, per the day. But you can see that the deep state map is now ready to give, or at least report that this territory is now being held by enough Russian troops to accurately change this map over. So, just trying to give you the accurate reporting on the ground as it lays. No propaganda, no bullshit, right? Not going to sugarcoat anything that's going on to give you false reporting or false hope by any means. But again, you can see here the slow change. Here's the 23rd to the 24th. Not a ton of territory gain. 24th to 25th. Looks like none, right? So Christmas Eve to Christmas. And then we go Christmas Day to Christmas, the day after Christmas, almost nothing. And then after that, you can see a substantial gain in territory in what looks to be the last 24, roughly 48 hours by the Russians in and around Mir-Norad and Pokrovsk. So again, as we continue to look at, the fall of Pokrovsk, which is, by all reports and by all accounts, pretty inevitable at this point. It's just kind of how long and how difficult the Ukrainians make it for the Russians moving forward. But then the story lies and turns to, Mir-Norad, right? But as you can see here, still, basically the entirety of the city is being heavily disputed over, but not infiltrated to the extent where the deep state map is ready to give any of the territory basically to the Russians. So whether or not the Ukrainians have a plan of, pulling the remaining troops out of Pokrovsk, what remains in Pokrovsk, and joining forces with what was left in Mir-Norad and making a push to a further defensive line in the rear, or if they're trying to make, the taking of Mir-Norad as difficult or as costly as it was in Pokrovsk, and they're gonna just basically fight to the last man there. To, again, a war of attrition. That's what this has become now. Really, the territory and the towns, when we're looking in this type of area, it's, nobody likes to hear that Ukraine is losing towns, but it's kind of, I don't want to say irrelevant because it's never irrelevant, but at this moment in time, it's how difficult, how many troops the Russians are losing to take that ground is basically what we're looking at. How many fucking pieces of equipment can we destroy? How much infantry can we destroy? How much, how many planes can we take down? How much ammunition can we have them expend? That type of thing. How can we make it difficult for them to resupply? So again, just to give you a quick kind of look at the frontline maps, and we'll just dive into this real quick for about 5 minutes to just to give us an update on what the Russians are feeling lately fighting the Ukrainians, because again, they continue to find out that it is not the cakewalk that they were promised.
Russians are finding out the hard way that fighting Ukrainians isn't as easy as they thought. Whether they're on the front lines or in the rear, Russian soldiers are finding out that the Ukrainians are just going to keep coming. All right, it is Sunday, 28 December 2025. And as I was looking at the news, this was what I was seeing. Ukraine blasts a prize anti-drone radar system in occupied Crimea and naval drone base. And here's the radar system. I'll show you the drone images going at it, but I want to show you these two paragraphs first. Ukraine drone.
What they attack Epcot Center? The fuck? What is that thing? Ukrainian drone footage captures the Valde radar system under a protective dome moments before impact in Chornayev. Yeah, in Crimea, December 2025. Christ. The fuck is that? Kind of looks like the kind of reminds me of, what is it, in Chernobyl, let me see if I can pull this up. Sorry. Let me pull it. Chernobyl radar. The huge Cold War radar. Yeah, here it is. You guys ever see this thing? I'll see if I can pull up a photo real quick. You guys ever see this fucking thing? This monstrosity? Check this out. I'll put this picture up. Share this tab instead. This thing here, this ginormous Duga radar system, which they had put in the Cold War, the Soviet Union installed in the Cold War near Chernobyl to detect nuclear missile launches by the United States, but obviously was rendered inoperable after the Chernobyl disaster and has been sitting there ever since. But that's kind of what that reminds me of, this like strange looking radar array that they have going on here. Just another one of those old fucking, I don't know, Soviet designs. But again, apparently that Duga was like ridiculously powerful, and like when it was turned on, radio stations throughout the globe could hear like I forget if it was like a ticking or a beeping. But, you know, obviously people knew when it was turned on, so not really a good look for the Soviet Union when people could be like, oh, yeah, that ticking. Yeah, that means the Duga radar system's on. Fucking idiots. Fucking idiots. All right, let's dive back into this one.
System. I'll show you the drone images going at it, but I want to show you these two paragraphs first. Ukraine drone troops struck multiple Russian military targets overnight.
Now, what do you notice about that sentence, ladies and gentlemen? What do you guys notice about that sentence? What does it say? Ukrainian drone troops struck multiple Russian what? Multiple Russian what? Hit me up in the chat. What jumps off in the page to you that the Ukrainians are attacking and targeting compared to what the Russians are targeting? What's the difference that jumps out here? What's the main thing? How it says military targets. Military targets. Not civilian infrastructure, not fucking housing complexes, not the city center of fucking Moscow. Russian military targets. And I want to continue to drive that home to you guys when you continue to hear the bullshit from people like Donald Trump and other propagandists who, again, compare what the Ukrainians are undertaking to what the Russians are currently undertaking, because it's fucking horseshit.
27 to 28 December in occupied Crimea, including a high-tech radar system and a base for sea drones, according to Commander Robert Brovdy. The attack was carried out near Kromortsky on Crimea's western coast, marking the third confirmed destruction of Russia's Valday anti-drone radar system in 2025. Aren't anti-drone systems supposed to be able to detect this? The strikes are part of...
Again, not a good look for Russia when your anti-drone radar systems are currently being attacked by drones. Shows a pretty big discrepancy in what they're made to do and what they're actually capable of doing. It's like the videos I've seen recently of I don't know if I'll be able to find them. I don't have enough time, but there's videos that you can find out on like Telegram and Reddit and stuff of Russians that have now been, I don't know, they've been given as part of their equipment, some of them, like it almost looks like a police scanner, right? And it's basically just an alert system for FPV drones, right? And it's the most ridiculous fucking thing because it just beeps and beeps and beeps and it says FPV when an FPV drone is near. But what's ridiculous about that is the fucking drone's louder. It's loud enough to be heard before the machine actually detects the drone. So it's like you don't need the fucking machine if you can hear the of the drone above your head. kind of, just waste time for you to take that thing out of your pocket when you can already hear the drone. But they're sitting there under a tree and the thing says FPV and it's just beeping away. Meanwhile, the drone's overhead. What is that doing? What is that doing? If the drone sees you, you're fucked. You and the radio are fucked. You and that drone detector are fucked. It ain't doing shit for you, pal. I got news for you. Might make you feel good, right? That little like false sense of security. But I can tell you, in the real world, when put in practice, that drone's getting you, bro. That drone's getting you. All right. Unfortunately, I have run out of time, but that goes on to kind of explain. And I would definitely advise everybody to check out the professor over at his channel. Please subscribe to, all pro-Ukrainian shows so we can get the most insight, the most information, the most accurate information of what's happening on a daily basis on the front lines. We continue to meet and check in here with what's going on. Let's see here. Anybody know RSBN, the White House isn't on, Fox is on. So again, we'll probably have to wait to cover what happens and to check out what happens after this meeting. I'll be sure to see if I can come on and give you guys a couple short updates, put out maybe a video or two to kind of describe any information, any news that comes out of this meeting that we didn't get to cover during the show. But what do you say we get into thanking some people for their kind and generous support of the channel so I can get you guys out of here so you can support some other fabulous independent creators like myself. All right. So Yakov, thank you so much, big guy. I really do appreciate you. Can't say thank you enough to all of you guys. He says, fuck Russia, fuck Netanyahu, fuck Trump. I'll add one, fuck ICE. He says, Happy New Year from Yakov. Right back at you, brother. I concur on all points. And thank you to Allison. Thank you so much for the $5 Venmo. I really do appreciate that. She says, let's fucking go, with the lobster emoji. Right back at you. And again, you too can send in a buck or two. That's all that's asked. Nothing more than that. Anything beyond that is 100% totally up to you. That is on you. All I ask for is a buck or two from people in the chat that are in the financial position to do so. It goes a long way in making sure, again, I keep the lights on. I can put some food in my stomach and continuously bring you guys the information, the news, my insights, my opinions, that type of stuff. If you guys appreciate it. So again, a buck or two. That's all I ask. Other ways you can sign up. Other ways you can help the channel. Great ways. Again, Venmo. Patreon.com/Boston Brian. There are 3 separate tiers on that, whichever one finds and fits your financial capabilities. Great way to join the backbone of the community. Another backbone of the community is the YouTube memberships here. You can sign up just underneath me for one of those memberships. You can also gift those memberships out to fantastic people in the chat, or you can do the simple and quick thing and just send in a super sticker or a super chat. Also, membership milestones. If you reach, a certain month, a certain milestone for your membership, you're allotted a free chat in the chat, and we make sure to read all of the chats out. All of the super chats, super stickers, people that send in on a Venmo at the end of the show, so you guys get your appreciation, your recognition that you all deserve. So let's get into thanking some people here on YouTube, and then I'll get you guys out of here. I really do appreciate everybody on Facebook. We're trying to get to, I think, 300 followers on Facebook. It's tough on there. I know a lot of people aren't on there anymore, but I think with 15,000 plus subscribers on YouTube, we should be somewhat close to that, or at least above 300 on Facebook. So again, thank you everybody on Facebook. Thank you everybody on Twitch. Thank you to the mods on Twitch. Thank you to the followers on Twitch. Please make sure if you have Twitch, if you watch Twitch, you're following me on there. And thank you to everybody on Instagram. I'm really trying to utilize Instagram more nowadays. So if you could head over there, follow me on Instagram at Boston Brian. I think it's at Boston Brian 23 on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. Please head over to Substack as well. I'm trying to utilize Substack. I don't know if I'm utilizing it properly. It is 100% free. I promise to never charge you guys for a membership, or I don't know the difference between a membership and a subscription over the year, but I'm not charging anything. That's all I know. It's 100% completely free, as well as the rest of my content for you guys to watch. There's never going to be anything hidden behind a paywall. You're never going to have to sit through ads that I'm presenting to you to watch any of my shit. I'm not going to try to sell you this, I don't know, fucking this clicker changed my life. I've only had it for about 10 hours because the company sent it to me last night after they paid me to make this fucking advertisement, but I'm going to tell you it changed my fucking life. No, I'm not going to do that. So again, I 100%, am independent on the financial contributions of you fine and fabulous people to this channel. And again, I can't thank you enough. All right, let's get into thanking some people before I ramble on even more. Colleen, thank you so much for your $20 super sticker. Very, very kind of you. Very generous. Can't thank you enough. Very much appreciate here in the chat. Everybody does here at Blunt Politics. So happy holidays. Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you, Wes. 1 for Peter, 2 for Paul, 3 for the baby. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the 333, Wes. Hope you had a wonderful holiday season. Hope you enjoy your new year, and I hope you have a fantastic new year, my friend. Thank you for being here. Thank you for Mike. Thank you to Michael as well for the $4 for more. I appreciate you, big guy. I really do. I hope you can feel the appreciation that is coming across on the screen to all of you guys. I know I'm not the most eloquent in terms of how I put it into words, but I try my very best. I really do. So thank you, Michael. Thank you, Wayno. I appreciate you, big guy. Thank you for being here for 17 months. That is just a really, really generous contribution and shows a huge level of support to the channel. So thank you, Wayno. It is definitely much. It is appreciated, noted, and appreciated. Thank you, Wayno. Appreciate you, brother. Nanabis, what's up, Nanabis? Appreciate you. Thank you for the $3 super sticker. Very nice of you. Very kind of you. Pleasure to have you in the chat. Can't thank you enough. Same thing for Moms. Thank you, Moms, for the $5 super chat. Thank you for the much love to you, Brian, Mel, Logan, and Brian Tologist. Right back at you, Moms. I hope you are well. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas, and I hope you have an even better New Year. Thank you for everything that you do. Same thing for Deb. Brian, here's something extra for a bigger switch. Thank you, Deb. At some point, I'm going to have like one of those big fucking Poland Springs bottles, right? Where you fill like the water bubbler. Wait, do you guys call it a water bubbler? What do you guys call it? Fuck. Did I just out myself as a Bostonian again? A water bubbler. I don't think you guys call it a water bubbler, but I call it a water bubbler. But anyway, but yeah, I'm probably going to need one of those like supersized Poland Springs jugs at some point for the swear jar. But thank you, Deb, for contributing to that fund. I really do appreciate it. You and JD go a long way in helping me in that area. Speaking of which, I knew it, and I didn't see that before. Thank you, JD. Right on cue for the profanity bonus. I appreciate that. I'm telling you, one of these days I'm going to have to I'll set up one of them big jugs back here or something like that that we can fill. And at some point, I don't know, we'll buy something nice for the channel. I don't know, when we hit a certain extent. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, JD. Thank you so much, Peter. I mean, this was amazing of you. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Unbelievable. Thank you for popping in here. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for being on the right side of history. And absolutely, I concur with everything that you said. Much appreciated. Slava Ukraine to you, brother. Appreciate you, big guy. Same thing for Mark. Thank you, Mark. It says congratulating Peter for the score. So thank you to everybody who is being kind enough to also congratulate and thank people contributing to the show, whether it's super chat, super stickers, gifting people memberships, signing up themselves. Let's make sure that they feel welcomed into the community. Let's make sure we thank them for their generosity, just like people have for you, hopefully. And let's continue, again, building this community up because I want this to be a force at some point. Not that it isn't now, but, the stronger, the better, the more united, the better. And the more people we can have here, the more fucking opinions we can sway. So let's hit that. I appreciate it. We're on our way to 20K, guys. We're on our way to 20K, and I know we're going to get there. So Jen, thank you, Jen. Thank you for being here for 16 months. Thank you for being a mod as well. Grammarly should be marketed to MAGA. Yeah, good one. They wouldn't know how to sign on. You shitting me? They wouldn't know how to get past the two-step authenticator. But I appreciate you. Hope you're well. Thank you so much for your contributions. Thank you so much for keeping that chat a safe place as well. Mark is back with another 5. Thank you, Mark. Russia pointing a finger at the corruption of others is like Trump denying his friendship with Epstein. Right. No, actually, I mean, right along those same lines. But Russia pointing the finger at the corruption of others is like Trump talking about in his True Social that the DOJ should release and how he denigrates people that gave Epstein money, that flew on his planes, that attended his parties, everything that Donald Trump did, everything. So 100%, just flipping it around a little bit, but along those same lines, Mark, you're 100% right. 100% right. And I appreciate you, brother. Same thing for Masha. Masha, thank you so much. Hit that like, thumbs up. Thank you, Boston Brian and Briantologist. Well, I appreciate you, Masha, for making everybody hit that thumbs up. Thank you so much for the contributions and being here. We really do appreciate you. Hey, Rage. What's up, Rachel? How are you? The Hermitage is quite majestic and built on the bones of thousands of serfs, like everything else from Peter the Great. Right. I mean, again, just these things that the people are applauding. Rachel is now talking about where we're looking at Twitter, the pro-Russian side of Twitter, which is just Twitter at this point, and how that Che Bose, whatever his fucking name is, was referencing the Hermitage. Excuse me. And again, the historical reference here made by Rachel, spot on as well. So Rachel, thank you so much for being here, not only for 9 months. Thank you for your insightful contributions. Thank you for your insights and your suggestions. That's the word I was trying to think of for like people to have on the show. You've given some great suggestions, some great insights, some great information, and we appreciate you. Oh, Jennifer, I see you on there. Jennifer, you sent. Oh, thank you, Jenny. I appreciate that. Jenny Faye just sent $20 on Venmo. Sent some pics of my previous Christmas dorkiness to your Facebook DMs. Glad I'm not the only one obsessed with villages. Have a great week. Oh, I can't wait to see that. Sorry, I'm not on Facebook a lot. I'm trying to utilize all my platforms a lot more nowadays, so I'll be hopefully able to see those, obviously, but I'll go check those out. If it's one thing that I am in love with and obsessed with is Christmas villages. They're just the fucking best. So thank you so much for the 20. Thank you so much for the message. And thank you so much for your loyalty to the show. Thank you, Rachel, as well. Thank you, Grams. Appreciate you for being here for 21 months. Huge contribution to the channel. Big sign that you are a valued member of this community, and we can't thank you enough, Graham. That goes for Mark as well. Tucker says hitting Russia grocery stores. Tucker just said something else pro-Russia. I just saw a clip, I want to say yesterday, the day before, of Tucker sitting down with somebody talking about how Russia is like this utopia, pro-Christianity, white Christian nationalist nation, something along those lines. Kind of right in line with the way that Tucker Carlson has been talking. I think the last one we covered was of his sit down with Piers Morgan, and he had some more pro-Nazi statements and how he was kind of denigrating the UK for getting involved with World War II, where he said that they didn't have to, totally denying the reality that they themselves would have been, in the firing line at some point anyway, so might as well be more prepared and get in it sooner. Anyways, that's a whole discussion for a different day, but you're 100% right, Mark. Can't thank you enough, my brother. Appreciate you. Going for Just Julie. Been here for 16 months. Let's go, Jules. Fucking appreciate you. I can't thank you enough. Is that a neck tattoo or is that a cat? Hold on. What am I looking at here? Oh, it's a cat. It looked like a neck tattoo. I'm sorry, Jules. I'm sorry. I couldn't, for some reason, when I looked at it quick, it looked like you had a neck tat, like a full necker. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jules. And please say hi to the fur baby for me. I'm sorry for that. Thank you, Jules. Thank you, No Money G, for the $2. Thank you, as always, Boston Brian. Slava Ukraina. Heroyam Slava. Right back to you, No Money G. I appreciate your support, as always. A valued member of the community, and we can't thank you enough for your kind contributions. Thank you so much, Mark G. Again, at Boston Brian. Sell time shit. Yeah. Jesus Christ. I might as well. I mean, that's basically what conservative Republican commentators do, right? Yeah, when you boil it down and you break it down, it's really no different. Who's next? I appreciate you, Mark. Thank you, buddy. Allie, appreciate you, Allie, being here for 7 months. She says, make sure to post clips and long videos to Substack. I'm trying. Like I said, I'm not technologically savvy. I'm pretty boomerish when it comes to that stuff. I grew up playing sports and being outdoors and not on computers and shit like that. So, I'm trying to learn how to utilize it. Plus, I don't have the patience. I really don't. Or I'm not a fucking social media-ite. I don't know. It's just, I'm one of those things where, at some point I hope to be in the position to have, a subscriber base that allows me to have somebody set up to do that type of stuff. I know that sounds extremely bougie, but again, I'm not just a constantly online person like that. And it's tough for me to do. You got to post it to Instagram, Facebook, fucking YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Substack. You got to post it to Reddit. You got to post it to, what's the other one? I keep forgetting. Notes, fucking what's the other one? Threads, that shit. I mean, it's a ton. You know what I mean? It's a ton. And I'm trying to get better at it. And I appreciate you guys for following me on these other platforms. But yes, Allie, long answer. Should have been a really short answer. But I have indeed been posting short videos and longer videos to Substack in case that's someplace where you hang out more now. I'm trying to utilize that and catch people where they are. So please make sure if you see it, share it out. Like Yakov, who else? Yakov, Robin, and fucking Slacks. Like all, and I'm sure there's more, but those three I can always count on. I always see them reposting on Blue Sky. Can't thank you guys enough for doing that. Andrea as well. There's a few others. Forgive me if I'm missing any, but I can always count on and recognize the people that after the show share it out, put it out to their friends, family, coworkers, whatever it may be. And I can't thank you guys enough for doing that because it does go a long, long way in helping people see this show that wouldn't normally see the show. The more people we get watching, the more people that YouTube sends it out to. Some people watch on Facebook, some people watch on Twitch. So anywhere you can share this show out, it does us good. So I appreciate it, Allie. I know I'm rambling and I apologize. Let me see if I can get through the rest of these. Ruben, Happy New Year to you as well, brother. Thank you so much for the 5. Jenny Faye, thank you so much for the 5 as well. Super Show, Brian, hugs to you. Mel, Logan, Pops, Marvelous Mods, and great people in the chat. Have a great week. Thank you, Jenny Faye. We appreciate you very, very much. Please tell everybody I said hello. Everybody here from Blunt Politics, everybody here from my family to yours. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. We very much appreciate you. Marsha, thank you so much for the $2 and the super sticker. Say hello to your cat for me. Laurie, thank you so much for the 10. Happy New Year to you, Mel, Logan, Pops, and Mods. Right back at you, Laurie. To you, your fur baby there that I'm looking at on the screen, which is adorable, and everybody else in your family. Really do appreciate it. And speaking of adorable fur babies, I've already gone over, so I might as well show you guys this one, right? Is a fur baby. Huh? Little fur baby. Somehow he got himself under the blanket. Unless Mel did that, and I just wasn't aware. Somehow he managed like 150. I don't know how. He's over 100 pounds. He's a big ass dog. Somehow he managed to get himself under the goddamn fucking blanket. But look at his eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Two different colors. But I appreciate you guys. So thank you, Laurie. Say hi to your pup for me. And then to round it out, Rachel, is Tucker Carlson our era's Lord Haha. Ooh. That's not bad. That's not a bad way to look at it. I don't know if he's that overt yet, right? Like, definitely a good comparison, absolutely. But I think Lord Haha, I think maybe still has him beat, right? Because I don't know if Tucker's getting close, but great comparison. I actually love that. I love that. We have to come up with a nickname for that though, like a good comparison for Tucker that relates to Haha, and we can actually like when you first hear it, you can identify the comparison. But that's a great comparison. In case anybody doesn't know, Lord Haha was let's see if we can bring up. He was the one that the Allies and the U.S. troops were always listening to on the radio that was working. There was what was the Japanese one too? There was hold on, fucking Christ. Basically traitors is all they were. Traitors that went over to the other side to kind of talk shit to the Allies is basically what it was. Lord Haha was a nickname to William Joyce. That was his name. I could never think of his name. Lord Haha, William Joyce applied, was several other people to broadcast the Nazi. It was a nickname applied to William Joyce and several other people. So it wasn't just him, but Nazi propaganda to the UK from Germany during the Second World War. Basically, if you heard the radio cuts from it, it'd be instantly identifiable to those that recognize it. But what was the hold on, I'll go back because I'm sure Rachel knows. She's probably telling me right now. She's probably screaming in the Tokyo Rose. Thank you guys. Yep. Appreciate you guys. So Tokyo Rose, Lord Haha, very similar, right? Just kind of to spread propaganda and lies to because they knew that the Allies were listening and they could understand. They got somebody English speaking to kind of say, hey, troops, go home. This type of shit. You can look it up. There's probably several different videos depicting that. But great reference, Rach. I appreciate that. All right, I'm out of here. I'm way over. Go enjoy some other great independent creators. Please make sure you're contributing to them if they're on the right side of history. If I bring you the most bang for your buck, if I bring you, the most value when you're watching these types of podcasts, please think about supporting this channel as well, whether it be via Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, signing up for a YouTube membership, signing up at patreon.com, gifting, whatever it may be. Can't thank you enough. I will see you Tuesday for the Tuesday show. I guess it's probably like inevitable for me to add a Monday show, right? At some point. It's going to happen at some point. So if we get to like a certain subscriber base, maybe if we get to like 16K in like a quick succession here, we'll see if we can add a Monday show, and we'll just get all of these days banged out. I'll just be a fucking 7-day-a-week podcaster. We'll just fucking grind it out until Donald Trump's fucking heart stops. How about that? All right, I'm out. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I'm Boston Bryant. This is Blunt Politics. I think we're hitting our stride, folks. I'm not going to lie. It's been a long haul. It's been a couple years of struggles and long months of not having YouTube push your shit out there. But I think we're kind of hitting our stride. I think we've kind of found our base, our community. We've built a great family here. I really do think we're hitting our stride. So I can't thank you guys enough. Let's get to 20K. It's only with your help that we do that. This is where I stand, in case you're wondering. In Slava Ukraine. Heroyam Slava. I appreciate you guys. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck ICE. Let's fucking go. Thank you, guys. I'm out. I'll see you Tuesday. I'll see you Tuesday. Tuesday, as my old hockey coach used to say. Yeah, we're gonna be power skating Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right, I'm out. Sorry. So that's why I get Saturday off, right? I'll always have that Saturday off. I enjoy my downtime. I don't live to work. I work to live. Holy shit! 42-3 Patriots. The Jets suck. The Jets fucking suck. Oh, geez. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mods. Thank you, Rock. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Adam, as well. Thank you, Lokera. Appreciate you guys. Thank you enough. Thank you, Tiff, Tanya. I'm scrolling back. I know you're. Thank you, guys. Ooh, hold on. Clara, my apologies. Did I miss one? Hey, Brian, One sec. I hate missing people. I don't like missing people at all. So, hey, Brian and our U.S. cousins, no pressure, but you have to sort out that nightmare in the orange house for everyone's sake. Love and peace. We're trying, Clara. We're very much trying. Thank you so much for the 10 pounds there from across the pond. Thank you so much. And was there one more? I don't like leaving anybody out. And Marsha, I do see your $2 super sticker in there. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anybody, because that is my one big fear. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Clara, for adding that in right at the end, and just make sure I didn't miss anybody on the Venmos. I didn't. I'm out of here. Peace. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, guys.
Somebody said, is that a Trump statement or is that real?
The kidney has a very special place in the heart. It's an incredible thing.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. For minors, do we love minors? I love minors. Never fight uphill, me boys. Never fight uphill. They were fighting uphill. He said, wow, that was a big mistake. He lost his great general. And they were fighting. Never fight uphill, me boys. But it was too late.
He says, wrecked him, damn near killed him. What in the hell was that all about? Taking him back to Nevada where he's wanted for banging horses.
Hey, you got a little chubby going there.
Referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small.
Brian, you're drunk. You're drunk.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Slava Ukraine. I'm out.
The big, fat, sloppy United States.